Hello? Can you hear us? Did I do it? Hello, hello.
I can hear you.
Thank you, thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to yet another Momentum Mod team Q&A. My name is Nick, aka Goknak. I'm the project lead of Momentum Mod, here to answer some of your lovely questions asked in our Discord. We might pick up some of your questions in chat as well, but try to get them in our Discord. And joining me, we'll go down the Discord list as usual. Got some of my lovely team members to assist.
Hi, I'm Bray. I do programming.
I'm False. I don't have a webcam right now, but I do the 3D art stuff, and I do the campaign for Jump when we get closer to that at 1.0.
Heck yeah.
I'm Tom. I do everything at the moment. I've moved a bunch of web stuff lately. I mostly do UI and need to be doing stuff everywhere on the project at the moment.
Conk Speed Whip map author right there.
Yes. Yeah. Need to remove myself from the author credits on that.
Hi, I'm Mac. I do bits of mapping and just all-around kind of QA testing, I guess.
Also map porting.
Map porting, yeah.
Defrag, yeah.
I'm XP Man. I'm a surf mapper.
I'm Zof. I'm the production designer. I coordinate with the artists and delegate things for the campaign.
You also design the project. There's a lot of design going. Project designer.
Yeah, but False has definitely taken over weapons, so I don't design everything. Mostly I'm an environment artist, so when it comes to campaign mapping, that's where I'll shine.
Oh yes. Our campaign is going to be very nice. All right, so yeah, I guess we'll start off with the traditional question that we talked about in the last Q&A stream. What has everybody been up to? And just kind of repeating this as like this is an important question because it feels like we should start off the Q&A stream so that we talk about our progress. It's not very clear, right? Our progress that we've been doing sometimes, so it's good to talk about it every once in a while and then show it off after the stream, or sorry, after all the questions. So I guess oh wait, shit, I already read the question. Sorry about that, Zofa, but I'll let you get the next ones. I'll start as well. So I've been pretty much reviewing and doing a lot of administrative work for Chaos, and yeah, it's been fun. We're getting a lot of defrag work in, especially CGaz. We're actually getting quite a couple of new team members as well, so we're onboarding them. So we're gonna be swinging full force here. I think over the summer to get pretty much the rest of the game finished up here. So I'm really excited to be showing off some future stuff like CGaz for defrag, which is a HUD element that lets you basically defrag better than everyone else. And yeah, a lot of just overarching stuff, but I've also started to delve into error reporting. It's not fun watching people stream the game and randomly crash and not have any idea what caused it. So, you know, we would love to automatically submit crash dumps to a service that lets us inspect it. So I'm looking into setting up Sentry for the game. So we have it hooked up. It's actually going to be in the next release, which is coming very soon. So looking forward to getting some metrics there, seeing how bad our game is crashing and maybe why, and trying to fix it, get on top of stuff before you know, the majority of players get crashes. So really huge step for the game and the engine in general to be able to detect like crashes like that. So really looking forward to that. But that's what I've just been up to. I've just been reviewing, not really coding except for hooking up Sentry, which is, again, more reading documentation than actually coding. It's just figuring out how Sentry works. But yeah, I guess we'll continue down the Discord list here. What have you been up to?
Hey, I've been well, very, very recently just getting some minor things in for the Defrag HUD. Various UI fixes. There's a lot to do for 092. So kind of getting a jump on that. Also implemented the calm-angular shoot angle. So next push, I guess after Q&A soon.
Yeah, it'll be very soon. Probably tonight,
Yeah.
if we can finagle CGaz in, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, calm-angular shoot angle, and also dynamically updating view models when changing to center fire for the rocket launcher. And job interviews, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been working on guns. Stay tuned. Get more guns.
More guns, yes.
That's pretty much it.
Heck yeah.
Oh,
What have you been up to, Tom?
I was rebasing. Lately, I've been mostly doing web work, been doing some panorama work, but also website. We've been meaning to rewrite our API for fucking ages. It's been a journey. So me and Alex, we're the nerd man. Been doing a bunch of API stuff, which has been nice. And we're actually making really good progress there. So, yeah, web work. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we just need to get the fucking stuff done. Get the rewrite done so we can actually do more website work, because oh my god, it's been forever. But yeah, so I've been doing that and a little bit of panorama stuff mostly.
Heck yeah.
Now that Defrag's in a playable state, we've made huge progress. I've basically just been on a map porting mission and been trying to port as many Quick 3 maps across as I can. I think I've got pretty good at the workflow now, so I've started writing a guide, so hopefully I can get some help with that at some point. Because at the moment, yeah, there's not many people that know how to do it, so...
Yeah, that documentation.
Somebody else will help.
Yeah, that documentation will be absolutely valuable for the 0.10.0 kind of map push. Yeah.
Yeah. I've me, Granis, and Extra met up like a few weeks ago to kind of get started on all the learn section for surf mapping, and yeah, recently I've just done a few of the tutorials with curved ramps, and then Granis kind of went through and kind of put everything together into one VMF using instances. And yeah, that's pretty much all that's been done so far. But it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, it is. And just to reiterate, the learn section is learning all of the individual mechanics of like a mode. So we're breaking down kind of things that you would see in maps and just like different entities that could be used or something, and teaching the player in various levels of difficulty how to do things that are easily repeatable, and they're tracking. You can track progress through it. So yeah, it's awesome to see this come together, because this is. Yeah. It's huge, right? Being able to play and learn as opposed to watching a YouTube or something video, right? And playing, right? It's a completely different world. So
yeah, the focus is on just like isolating the main mechanics and giving players just a way to practice just that one thing, rather than opening up a map and just trying to learn all of it at once.
Exactly. Not being too overwhelming, going at your own pace as well. Cool. And then Zofa. Oh, you might be muted.
Am I? Oh.
Yeah, you were.
Oh, wow. Okay. Maybe I wasn't pressing the hotkey down hard enough.
Yeah.
What have I been doing? Recently, I've been trying to finish up a weapon model that I started late last year, and I wanted to just get it polished and released so we could start testing it.
Yeah.
Aside from that, been compiling a bunch of references for prop models and experimenting with some textures for one of our mappers' little side projects. So it's been quite interesting. A lot of fun, actually.
Heck yeah. Yeah, the knife model, I believe, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Figure out how to get the emission texture animated, so when you actually wield it, it looks like it's powering on rather than it's always on.
All right. Yeah. So stay tuned for more beautiful weapons that are going to be also beautifully animated by Spring Scale and rigged and put into place by Vortex on the team. We also have BLT and SL and Zen also came back. So BLT's been working on some miscellaneous performance fixes surrounding the console, specifically when things get spammed. So stay tuned for for that. There should be some fun fixes there. And then SL and Zen in particular have been looking into BSP limit increases. So basically, we're trying to double the grid size. So instead of 32 to negative 32, it's 65 to negative 65. So a 128 by 128 by 128 3D volume is what we're aiming to increase our map size by. And I believe Zen has been messing around with stitching together a bunch of like linear surf maps to make this kind of like proof of concept map that we could try to like add to the game to show off like what you can do with it now. So very fun stuff with the flashlight happening, which we're going to try to figure out. But other than that, it's coming together. So stay tuned for that as well. AHOP in particular is going to really take advantage of that. And defrag maps are also inherently like, I think 300k units across. So defrag maps will also be able to take advantage of that too. So, I mean, every mode will be, but
Jump ones don't take advantage.
are you ready for the longest vert?
Like the volume is going to go up by 8, right? For right, if it's going from like 32 to 64 in
But
each
it was,
axis,
like,
then it's going up by 2
quadrupling.
to 3, right?
It might be quadrupling, yeah. So it's currently 64. Well, no, it's doubling. So, yeah. We haven't looked at file sizes quite yet. There's varying sizes. Like we were looking at worst case scenario.
100 megs, I think.
Yeah, worst case VMFs are like 100 megabytes now, so that's fun. And then we have Slidey Bat, who's currently busy with real life stuff, but they've also been fixing DirectX 11 full screen. There's some DirectX 11 full screen fixes in there too. Some missing shaders, I believe. So yeah, some very nice stuff. And then, I mean, the rest of the team, Rio's been working on overhauling the slide trigger system to be more of I guess like an entity that you can place. We want to make it pretty distinct when you are sliding, right? So we're trying to make a better system for that. So look forward to that there. And then yeah, we got some new members on the team. We're looking forward to seeing their work. We'll update you guys. Maybe they'll even attend the next Q&A. So yeah, stay tuned for those. And yeah, just awesome progress all around. If I forgot anything, sorry about that. There's sometimes so much stuff that it's almost like we need to make like a bullet point list to like keep track of it all, right? So but yeah, so lots of fun stuff either in the game or coming very soon to the game. So there's a nice little insight into that. And was there anything else before we move on to the first question, or the first like asked question? Cool. Okay, we'll move on.
Antjlo. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing the username correctly. Wants to know, are animated cosmetics going to be a thing?
Yeah.
Like the mesh, we animate the mesh. That's possible, right?
Particles.
Cosmetic be animated?
Technically, right? Like a new rocket launcher or something.
Keybinds would be fun.
Oh, yeah. A soggy rocket launcher.
Snapman dangly thingies can like.
Yes.
Block killers.
Spinning top hat.
When I think of this question, I think of like the knives in CS:GO. Like each knife has its own little kind of inspect sort of animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Butterfly
mentioned
knife,
that
you flip
last.
it. Other ones, you kind of look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, we could have inspect.
Suppose it depends on the artist, whoever's actually producing it. Do they have the technical know-how on how to rig it, something like that? If it was just us making all of them, that would be quite the monstrous task.
Right. Yeah.
It takes it on the skin. I forget how Source works with animated textures, but
it's possible. It gets kind of inefficient because it's like a GIF, so you have to like embed into each VT, like a frame into each VT. So like maybe if we could project webums on weapons, that would be kind of cool. I think that's possible. I mean, there's the entity to place like a movie screen from like Portal 2. So, and that was changed to use webum. So we might be able to like attach little like videos or anything really. So maybe, but yeah, it depends what's meant by animated, but hopefully those answers kind of help there. Absolutely, though, it depends on the artist that's doing it. Yeah. Was there any other input for this? All right, we'll move on. Thank you, Ant, for that question.
Imbellis is asking, how will the automation of Cosmetic XP through AHK /
PyAutoGUI.
AutoGUI be
Yeah.
PyAutoGUI. Okay.
Right. So this is a great question because we have to look at like what like the amounts of XP that you'll be getting for doing things. For one, you will get the most XP by beating a unique map. A map that you've never like beaten before, setting a new PB on something. So that is the most. If that gets automated, that's cheating. So that will be dealt with there. But if there's things like, if you're worried about maybe people maybe automating like walking forward on an easy map into the first checkpoint to get like the 20 XP there and then resetting, something that we could try to look into is just like logging. We want to definitely try like pattern like recognition. I mean, there's going to be people that are going to be grinding maps anyway, but I mean, we can have, you know, if it's extremely rudimentary automated, it could probably be detectable, like if they're just holding, you know, rubber band on their mouse or like a rock on the W key or something. Like for the most part, right, like it's not going to be like the amount in that in just like hitting like a checkpoint zone or something that could be rudiment or like really easy to automate, just won't be enough to like be worth it. Like you'd probably have to grind like 8 hours straight to get like a comparable like map completion amount of XP. And that's like, okay, while I'm sleeping, but then at the same time, we could also look into, I believe World of Warcraft did the system of like rested XP of like, maybe after like 8 hours straight of playing the game or something, we just like stop giving you XP and tell you to stop or something like that, where it's like we reduce the amount of XP, we warn you like, hey, like you've been playing this for a while, like you should take a break, like that kind of stuff. We can look into systems like that. Now, that's not saying that you can't play for longer than 8 hours. It's just going to be like, if you're doing the same thing, maybe like if you're on the same map for 8 hours or something, right? Like where it's like, again, just very easily checking these base cases of like, yeah, if they're making like just this really rudimentary like automation of collecting 5 XP from hitting this, you know, checkpoint or something, yeah, we can try to curb that with some really easy stuff. Now, I mean, yeah, there are people that could play the game for like 24 hours straight, maybe for a stream. I used to do 24-hour streams, so it's not, you know, not impossible. But the problem becomes like, it's really just looking at one aspect, right? It's just like the one map hitting that one checkpoint over and over again. We can really try to tune our server to kind of detect that kind of behavior where it's just really repetitive, like, oh, they're failing a tier 1 for 8 hours straight, we should probably like cap their XP. Something like that, you know, like where there's like things like that where we just kind of tell them to do something else or like urge them to go and do other things. And yeah, you will always get more XP from just doing something unique, like doing a unique playthrough, winning a race against maybe, or you know, like doing more than just hitting the first checkpoint in a map. That is like, that will be guaranteed to not be the greatest source of XP. And if it is, then we do something wrong and we'll probably rebalance how much XP certain maps give or something like that.
surely we don't want maps to be giving XP for completing the same map 100 times. Don't we want to stop it giving XP after a certain number of times?
No, because there's going to be people that are going to go for... We want to promote completions. That will still give a lot. Yeah.
Getting content improved, sure. But just beating the map and not getting it improved.
But I mean, if you're on the last stage, there's unless we start updating. Oh, we'll update the comparisons HUD and timer to show. But like, I mean, there's sometimes where you won't even know if you're going to get a faster time. You'll be seconds behind or milliseconds behind or something. So we do want to promote people grinding for better times and rewarding that progress too along the way. So every time you hit a zone, you'll get some, and that'll reward that grind. And so. That's really what we like. We want to promote people just doing a lot rather than just get out of the start zone, hit the first checkpoint, restart. Because if that gives enough XP for unlike even a tier 6 map or something, that would be ripe for abuse. But we absolutely, if you get like a better PB and things like that, we can reward that, and that's what we will be leaning towards. Is we want you to do better and better runs. We want you to set better and better PBs, so that you get the most XP and you get the most rank points if you care about that out of it. So, any other input on this?
I think your long-winded answer summed it up pretty well.
All right. Hopefully that helps, Imbellis. Thank you for that question. We'll move on to the next one.
Probably butchering this name again, but I'm going to pronounce it as Antjlo. Asking, what options will dedicated lobby hosters have access to?
We've speculated on before.
Yeah.
I don't think we have like an actual concrete list of what's going to be available.
So reiterating,
probably,
skins. Yeah, I mean, so having overrides. I mean, we want communities to be able to express themselves there. So I mean, at the bare minimum, like what we're thinking right now is hooks into run submissions so that you can have your own community leaderboard. And also, some custom assets that are only available on that server or lobby. We could also look into supporting map lists again and map rotations, giving that traditional experience of like exploring new maps with the server. But a lot of it is just figuring out what dedicated server owners would want out of a system like ours, because again, dedicated servers that are currently existing on CSGO and CSS have to deal with the fact that the game wasn't made for these game modes, right? Like the game doesn't have things like or an XP system or like a global leader, right? Like all of these servers are made in mind with like, oh, we have to take care of like these leaderboards or like these map lists and stuff. Whereas like our game is like turning it on its head of like, you have all the maps at your disposal. You can play with whoever you want, whenever you want, for however long you want. So like when it comes to dedicated lobby, we really want to promote more of the community aspect of just like, it could be some place to hang out and like maybe offer a little bit of that traditional experience, but it's just going to be a giant, for what we're planning right now, a giant lobby, right? Where it's just, you throw it on a box somewhere and you can connect to it and then it handles the networking, as opposed to doing pure peer-to-peer, right? So.
But in terms of like API stuff or like some kind of equivalent to source mod, like I don't think that's something we've ever been particularly keen on. Or
right.
Like how you'd handle custom player skins with if we supported that like directly and allow dedicated lobbies to support that, like that would be us implementing it rather than like someone writing some system in like source mod that decides what players get what skins or whatever and has some like separate DP or whatever. Like
right. Yeah. It's really just seeing how it fits with all of the systems that we'll have in place, and that's why it's a later feature, why it's going to be after 1.0, because we want to get all of our systems in place. so that we can see what a community server or community dedicated lobby or something would want out of this. So obviously there are going to be clans, right? Clans can have servers, and that could be like, we could have it be like more of like it's a lobby that's only allowing people in a clan, and maybe we have filters for the lobby that's like it filters people being able to connect, things like that we could look into. But it's really just going to be something that we're going to open a communication thread for, right, with dedicated servers or community owners that would want to migrate over. Just what would they want, right, out of a game like ours? Was there any other input for this?
Take that as a no.
Okay.
The next question by Blink is asking, will Trikz, I'm assuming the game mode, ever be considered to be implemented even in the far future?
So this gets asked pretty much almost every time.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So the way that our game is set up, it would basically be re-implementing multiplayer for a very niche part of, like, again, I think this is even answered in the last Q&A, so I would really point to that. The way that our game is structured just doesn't support it, and it would go against the principles of the game's design to implement it. Now, I'm not shitting on the mode, right? But it's just the way that our game is designed and focused doesn't really support it. So, no. Same with hide and seek. Same with combat surf. Any mode that requires other people to play is not going to be supported. We could try to like loosely support, like maybe if you load up a Trikz map and you're in a lobby, grenades will like hit each other, but we're not going to guarantee synchronize. You know, you're not going to be on the same tick or anything like that. So we could do some like loose support like that, but no, it's not in any official capacity. It's not going to be supported. So even in the far future, no, it's too much work for just like something that that's not what the game's being made for. Hopefully that answers that. We'll move on. Thank you, Blink.
Lack of a wetter bird. That's such a great IGN. Is curious, wondering how would you treat a multiplayer-ify mode happening post-release specifically for multiplayer required mode here?
Could you even do that?
We wouldn't.
Yeah.
I think you can. Like, it wouldn't be possible to make a mod for that.
That requires engine code, which is close.
Yeah.
If we were to do, what Scott was saying just now, like if with sorry, what am I saying? With dedicated servers in the future, I think Scott was just saying we might route them, have dedicated server, not do a PTP system and actually have it routing through the dedicated server then. So stuff is like, you got something a bit more multiplayer modish there, but like that, yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. It wouldn't work from the.
Yep.
Someone else say that more eloquently.
No, yeah, it's just the way the game's set up is we don't even have really other players, right? Like a lot of our systems are just assuming that it's a ghost entity, right? Like, so I don't know. Yeah, it's like in 087, I think people were able to, because the code was there, and so it's like you can code something for it. But with our game, right, we're not really releasing like an SDK or anything. I mean, we'll see how that changes, but so I mean, if it exists somehow, that'd be amazing, but also just it's not what the project's focusing on. Like, again, like we understand that there's a desire for multiplayer specific modes, but like not the most desire out of all of the modes that we have that we're trying to support, right? So yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if it happens, but I don't think it will. At least a lot of our game code's not assuming that you're playing with other player entities, if that makes sense. We might change that in the future. We might hijack how the engine does networking and then just hook it up to ghosts and use our philosophy of just sending data like deltas and stuff like that. So that's more traditional network code that gets like used, but other than that, we're not. I mean, we're not doing any. We're not synchronizing engine ticks or game ticks, right? So that's where the engine like side of things would be different. Like I don't know if we'd really support it. So yeah, I mean, we wouldn't, like, if it exists and is like its own thing, then I guess it could live on. But like it's, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, is if something implements this multiplayer specific stuff for a multiplayer like only mode, then it can exist, right? Because we're not ever implementing it, and then the people that want it can go and play it. But it's like, I don't know, like it just
happy after them.
Yeah.
The MCA, all of them.
Yeah, I guess branding wise, as long as it's not infringing on our brand or something, that's, I guess, as long as it's like very clearly not the main Momentum mod, right? It's some sort of like spin-off thing. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it's, again, we're not really planning on supporting these modes, so it is what it is. If it's possible, then hallelujah, I guess, for people that want these modes. Yeah. Was there any other input for this? Okay. Thank you, Lack of a Wetter Bird, for that question. We'll move on to the next.
Antjlo is asking, how will Workshop Cosmetics be nominated?
Ideally through the Workshop voting system.
Yeah.
Like, so how Workshop normally works for like CSGO, I think. Well, I don't know. I think CSGO's is more free to, or like free range with all the knife scams. But yeah, ideally it's just going to be you vote on it in the Workshop. Gets enough votes, we can just add the cosmetic to the game under the store, and there you go. Right? So yeah, we'll figure this out more in concrete detail as we approach adding Workshop and like branching out to like allowing others to create cosmetics to add to the game. But yeah, it should just be through Steam, ideally. Cool. Any other input? All right. Thank you, Ant. Moving on to the next one.
Next question by Lumia asking, will Tricksurf remain an independent mode, or will it become the Trick version of Surf? Same way there will be Trick versions of Rocket Jump, Defrag, etc.
It will become the Trick version of Surf. I'd like to be able to categorize multiple ways to play a mode under its like game category. So this was talked about in a previous Q&A stream. The idea is that like right now it's a separate mode because it's going to be kind of like a separate style of gameplay, but what we want to do is consolidate it under like you're playing Surf, but you're playing the Trick variant of it. So you have Skill Surf, Trick Surf, and then it's the same for like all the other modes that want to support it. So skill or like time trial, rocket jump, trick, rocket jump, stuff like that. So that is the plan. All of the modes that could support it can have Trick versions, and the system that we're designing for it should be pretty abstract to allow it. So hopefully that answers that. Right now it's just separate because that was the easiest way to implement it. We would have to kind of overhaul how the game mode system works because there's going to be game modes and then like game types. I don't know how to word it yet, but there will be like a classifier of like what style of gameplay and then what you're actually playing. Type and mode, I don't know. So we'll probably exchange those two terms interchangeably. So we'll have to find better wording, but. Any other input for this one too? Cool. Thank you, Lumia. Moving on.
This next question mentions something we might have already answered, but it has a bit of a tweak to it. JBL is asking, on Counter-Strike 1.6, there was a modified hide-and-seek mode that had blocks that disappeared when you jumped on them. Are we able to support this kind of mode?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a speedrunning game.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about hide and seek, like, what do you mean by support? Like, there's no speedrunning done there. No, there's nothing stopping you from making a map like that. and having fun with other people. You could even do it through ghosts and things like that.
Yeah.
Kind of like how, if you're familiar with Jump Party, like that's obviously never going to be on like a ranked leaderboard like Tempest Surfer, but it is fun. I don't know. So it's just no way we can really support it.
Yeah.
Would never be a separate mode, right? We're never having a hide.
Yeah, not a mode.
Like,
No.
if you want to make some B-hop map that's using like ghost triggers, which we do have, you can make the map change based on if a ghost triggers something.
Yeah, have a fun
And
map.
have some hide and seek thing there, and then share it with your friends in a lobby. Then you could do that, but we'd never have a hide and seek map like on the map selector. I don't think, unless like it was some bonus area of something, or like, yeah.
Yeah.
What about the feature that they're asking about? If we had blocks that disappeared when you touched them,
Oh, yeah.
more or less
Do
just
that
like
we
with
could
mapping
do that
triggers
now.
that are already pre-existing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that with
map
Funk Brush.
logic and- yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Funk
So
Brush.
that we
and-
can support.
Yeah.
The mode, no.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, if it requires multiplayer, and then I think I condensed this down, but like it was asking about like, oh, there's like an admin that places them and stuff. So it's like, yeah, I mean, if it's again like the the goal of this game is not to be every movement mode ever under one umbrella. It's more focusing on speedrunning. So this kind of more social aspect is typically what you would find in like Gary's mod, or
Yeah.
or a
And
similar
alone
game.
Saxton Hale map when.
Fun social stuff we're
Oh
not
my God.
fun social stuff we're not completely against. Like
Right.
the learn section is going to be having these playground areas for at the end of each section, or for each different mode that I'm sure people will sort of play around in lobbies a bit.
Yeah.
I think Tricksurf and tricks on other modes as well will be really popular as like a casual thing to do in a lobby with friends, but like an actual direct hide and seek map just doesn't belong in the game or like on the map selector. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Trade maps too, though. We will be supporting that definitely.
Yeah.
What maps?
Trade map.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. We'll be
Trade
adding
trade maps.
trade-
all of the trade maps.
Trade Minecraft.
Trade maps with no
Speed
econ.
7 or whatever.
Let's go.
No.
You just
We're gonna
you
have to
join the lobby,
running around.
join the lobby, and just start trying to sell cryptocurrency.
Oh Jesus.
Oh
Through
no.
game chat.
Heavy coin, let's go. All right. But yeah, that's yeah, hopefully that answers that. They pretty much nailed it. So yeah. All right.
Next question by Jaunty asking, when community zoning begins, what will the process be for someone to edit a certain zone that may be bugged in order to improve it? Will there be any approval system in place?
Right
I think
on.
that goes through the map review process, where that would get sorted out through the testing phase.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because it's there's creating the zones, and then there's like getting the map ready and then testing the map in zones. So in either one of like in either stage, right, or any of those stages, right, you can always raise the concern that, oh, this zone might not be up to spec. The other thing too is we plan to have completely open source documentation on how we're going to be like checking maps and like verifying zones and like the standards that we should be using for like zoning, and like how tall or how close to an edge should a zone be or something like that. So we'll have documentation on that to make sure that people are going about it the right way from the get-go. Right, and so the main system there is, yeah, there will be QA. It's mainly going to go more hierarchical. So right, a zoner is going to pick a map out of the list, be assigned to it, and then zone and get the map ready by whatever means necessary. There could be a document for the map in particular, and then the idea is that there will be somebody that's more of a liaison to the team that's going to be in charge of a specific mode, and that person will be basically checking over all of the work there. Now we do for new maps, right? For new, I guess like maps added periodically, right, as they're made, right, that will be the testing area, right? So the mapper creates the map, gets the zones and submits it. then everybody has a week to like try it out, a week minimum to try it out and see how these zones work. And so that will catch that case. But with this zoning rush, right, we want to make sure that we have very clear documentation on how we want these zones to work and be be laid out in the maps. So yeah, that should ideally be, so like it'll be just someone's job to just basically take in the ported stuff and test it, just like do runs on the map, check all the zones, make sure, like we'll have checklists that we'll be going through and those will be public, just things that we're going to be going through and checking. And then yeah, hopefully that catches things like that before it's even fully added to the game for other people to like set times on.
Yeah, I think we've covered the map review process before, but like I think it's important to note that maps that are already in existence but are being zoned will have to go through the same process once we get our website up to snuff and actually working.
Yep.
Yes.
We're getting
It's
there.
one of the things we're most keen to do. Was some similar sort of stuff in that vein getting worked on already? Like Aaron's been doing some work on, I think, map uploads. I sort of forget.
Yep.
We really want to jump over to that as soon as we can.
Yeah.
So I don't want to make any predictions on timing, but I'd like to have stuff like that in around about 0.10 or after 0.10, like actually have rewrite done, and then I think one of the first major things we'll look at working on will be map review.
Yeah.
Because there's so much we can do with it. We just need the site in a more stable state, and it's getting there. So
yeah. And that is true. I forgot to mention, if there is ever a case where we missed a zone or anything, there will be an editing process where we can, an admin, after a map is released, go in and clear the, reset the zone, clear the times that were maybe set using an improper zone or something. There's a way, we'll have tools around kind of retroactively fixing, but again, we want to do a lot of upfront work, and it's going to probably be really annoying for mappers at first because they might not be used to the scrutiny or something, but we need to make sure, right? Because this is, depending on how big the game might be, this is, potentially thousands of people that would be affected if it doesn't get checked. So yeah, so absolutely, we'll have an approval system, an editing system, but a very large QA kind of checking system.
Mm-hmm.
Any other input for this? Cool. All right. Thank you, Jaunty, for that question. We'll move on to the next one.
I think we got to start limiting questions that could get asked by the same person.
yeah.
And Antjlo is also curious about, will there be limited time or stock cosmetics? Can we trade cosmetics? Can we sell cosmetics? Can workshop creators bundle their cosmetics?
Yeah. Cool.
Definitely no to selling.
Yes, no to selling.
I think we can trade without econ, right?
We can.
That's.
We can. There are items that are tradable. Yeah. We have trading, but we don't have marketplace, so it's not marketable.
Yeah.
Okay.
So black market trading. Let's go. No, I'm just kidding. So that's the thing, right? So let's, I guess, kind of rapid fire through these 5 questions here. Limited time, yes, those are going to be in the sense of seasons. We'll have seasonal cosmetics. You'll have basically 2+ weeks to log on and do something for a seasonal cosmetic, whether it be beat a seasonal playlist or set a time if it's going to be the ranked seasons, right? Things like that, absolutely, we can have limited time. Now, obviously, what we'll try to do is make it so that it's limited time, but then maybe next year we could do kind of like the RuneScape system of like, next time you do that event, you get all the previous ones too. Something like that, so that you don't miss out fully. But I don't know. There could be more rarity in that, but at the same time, it's like we want the skill to, or like the price of, like, because you're buying things, right? The price of something to be the rarity, right? You've played so much, you saved up all of this, you got this sick fucking cosmetic that's like really rare, that you worked for, right? Limited stock, no. That's so dumb. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think the only limited stock cosmetic we'll have is just the playtesters getting their playtest cosmetic, and that's it. And that's just
like tournament medals and stuff that can be.
Oh
limited.
yeah.
I
Trophies, I think we should do.
Yeah. Oh well, that's like a
Maybe
profile
like a
cosmetic.
Tradable
badge.
trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah, tradable. Here's my first plays 2020 invitational. Yeah. There's yeah. So there could be like tournament. Yeah.
Well, that could be fun, but that would definitely be something that goes on your website, like it's a badge.
Exactly. It's a badge.
Which
Yeah.
I guess
it's
is
not gonna be-
less cool in a way, but
Yeah, people like collecting their trophies, right? So, I mean, we'll see. It's just a matter of like, can we do like 3D cosmetics and have that be you can demonstrate it somehow, right? Like a trinket for a weapon or something, right? Like things like that could be pretty good. Like a trophy dangling from your rocket launcher as you're going, something like that would be cool. But and that is in terms of like stock. Yeah, there's only one for that tournament, right? Because you won it. So there could be that. I guess I was too quick to judge that. But there's not going to be like, oh, there's only 100 of this like reindeer nose or some shit, right? Like there's not going to be that. Like we won't do that. We'll make it so that it's more like you have to perform. You have to do things to get these rare things. And then yeah, no to selling, but yes to maybe actually. I don't know. I don't know about trading. That just opens a giant can of worms. I think it's more valuable if you can't trade them. Right.
We want stuff to be fun.
Yeah.
To be enjoyable and not something like, obviously there's going to be no money involved, but like,
right.
Like anything that like gets even sort of close to the sort of like nasty aspects of like online trader stuff, it's so depressing. Like, that I think we just want to stay clear of that. Does anyone actually enjoy trading? Like, you have to. I never understood the people that did it all the time.
Trading up from a refined
money.
Yeah, trade up, right?
I'm on Outpost. Let's go.
You can trade from a scrap metal to a refined metal.
We want the cosmetic system to be like an enjoyable like extension of the game where we're rewarding you for doing stuff in like a fun way. And trading, I think, is just like a whole extra avenue that's kind of just so unrelated to the game that I'm a bit skeptical of it. But I don't know. Hey, Paddy.
Yeah, and then last one there, can workshop creators bundle their cosmetics? So I'm not sure if bundling you mean like make one cosmetic that like unlocks or like is applicable to multiple things, or creating a bundle for like, oh, here's all of my like, I don't know, like hedgehog. Like, so we do want to have like cosmetic packs. I think those would actually be very nice to like have like a hedgehog pack where a conch could be a hedgehog, a sticky bomb, right? Like where it's like it's you buy one but it applies to multiple things. It can apply to multiple things. I think we could do that. But when it comes to like all the rocket launchers I ever made bundle or something, no. We want things to be individual, right? To give people a purpose, to work towards something. We don't want people to buy something and then feel like, oh, only 1% of this was like valuable, or like a percentage of this was valuable, right? So like we want people to be like, this, like I want this thing and I'm gonna just work towards it, right? Like, and save up and get this thing, and it's gonna represent me, like, you know, like we want that value to be generated rather than, oh, I bought all the rocket launchers pack for 50,000 cosmetic points or whatever, or units, and it's like I only wanted one out of this, right? Like we don't want that. We don't want people to feel cheated out of their hard-earned units. So probably not to
bundle. Would people be able to set up like a set? You have like a hat,
yeah,
top, a bottom.
That's what I was thinking, is like we could probably do, like, if it could be individually purchased, we could have it under a set maybe, and then that way when you click on it you can see the full set, and then you can buy the full set. But I don't think you'll get like a discount or anything. Like it's just going to add up all the cost of everything, and you just buy the set if you want everything in it, or you can buy the individual pieces. We could do something like that where you make sets of stuff, like if you're making a themed thing and people only want the Santa Claus like pant. I don't know why I'm thinking Christmas. You only want the what is it, like, I don't know, cyberpunk pants, yeah, or something, right? Like, so we could have it be like that, where it's like there's like there's like the sets, which are like bundles, right, of like all the cosmetics of like this theme, and then you can buy the individual pieces or the entire bundle and unlock everything. But that's more of just a UI thing. That's not really, like, it's not anything exclusive to. Anyway.
think
Yeah,
that's what
so-
TF2 kind of does, but then they had like the deranged idea to give people set bonuses and then just
Yeah, what we want to do
gain
is we're going to have like a fez item that you have to buy, and if you have that, then the dead ringer doesn't make any noise.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was really smart.
Yeah, this isn't Diablo 2 where you got the full IK set and +1 to all skills and crap.
Right. It is purely cosmetic. So, yeah. We're just going to allow you to maybe buy a group of items at once, but other than that, that's like the only bundling that you'll probably see. Cool. Was there any other input?
No, I think we wrapped that one up pretty
All right.
pretty in depth.
Thank you, Ant, for that. We'll move on to the... He's back once again.
Swear, if I got to read one more question from this,
No.
it's gonna be it for my
That's a lot of fun.
QA days.
These are good questions, I think. So,
Antjlo also wants to know: will the data of runs be public?
Yes.
And I believe that is yes.
yes, they will be on our
How
site.
would the leaderboards work if you had like your own private leaderboard?
You won.
Every single player has their own leaderboard.
Knows, like
Right. When it comes to public API, we have a previous answer on that. It's kind of no right now, but we'll see in the future. But when it comes to like seeing other people's runs, yeah, absolutely. That's how the leaderboards work. You just go into game or on our website and you can see it all. So, absolutely. All right, we'll just move on. We'll move on from that. Thank you, Ant, for that question.
Blink wants to know: will we be able to add our own checkpoint zones on maps?
So this is an interesting one. The ability to compare arbitrary splits, right? I think it's possible. I think what it'll probably turn into is just more of a HUD element that shows near the timer of like a comparison, kind of like how we currently have, where it's like, oh, minus or plus. We could have it hook into that, but yeah, you would have to create them. Like they wouldn't be shipping with the maps or anything. The zones that ship with the map are aiming to kind of be enough for you to get like a rough idea, but we could totally see areas where maybe we might have missed some checkpoints, or you want some finite comparison detail there. We could set that up where we have that for sure. It's possible, yeah.
Or would you be able to do that like to other people's runs? Like it would just be
Yes.
yours, right?
Yeah, if you have the replay, then you should know when they pass that zone.
Yep.
And
But
yeah,
what if
it is.
they don't have the zone then?
It doesn't matter.
No, it'd be on
If
your
they have it,
machine.
if they have it locally, they can do the comparison locally.
Okay.
But yeah, that's already a feature that's on KSF at least, but it's
Mhm.
like I think it's limited to VIP or something.
Classic. Yeah, no, we'll have it for free. 100% free. And yeah, we can you would have to populate it with data, right? So you'd have to do a run with the checkpoint zones and then be able to compare, right? Like it's not going to just know like where or like you would have to like I don't know, like if you compare it against the two runs there. So that is the problem of like a pre-recorded replay. What Bray was bringing up of like somebody that doesn't have your checkpoint zones, like we would have to calculate it on the fly of what the comparison. You would have to watch it all the way through basically to see what the comparisons of that replay at that time is. But other than that, it's doable.
I think I think it's doable even if you have to simulate the replays you're comparing
Yeah.
against.
Yep. It's fully doable. Yeah, and I think that's talked about Sandri in chat. You let the bot hit it, and so you can see the comparisons there. Yeah, it's possible. So yeah, for sure. We'll try to squeeze it in with 0.10.0. If not 0.10.0, then very soon after 0.10.0, because that's the idea of all the zone related stuff will be put in place there. So cool. All right. Any other input for this question? All right, we'll move on. Thank you, Blink.
I know one of the acronyms in this. I don't know the second one, so you're gonna have to help me at the end of this question. Often is wondering, will there be world record checkpoints and replays for them? What about
World record bonuses?
bonuses? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes to stages. No to checkpoints. So they're a little misnomer there, or it's a little misnomer there. The checkpoint there meaning individual stages, because some checkpoints are very short, like very short. So no, but like for a stage, for something like Omnific or something, right? Yeah, we can have. I've been using the term IL because that just comes from my area of speedrunning. But yeah, individual level kind of like individual, but technically that's what like each map is. So in our case, it'll be each like stage is like the kind of, and then in jump maps it'll be courses. So you have stages with checkpoints. It'd be those stages still, so you can see how fast somebody does course 1, right?
It's most commonly, I think, called stage records.
Yes.
But like, I think SR in Surf is used for like server record in like CS:GO, so they just use WRCP instead.
Fun. Yeah. So yeah, it's absolutely going to be there. And then world record bonuses, absolutely. And yes, clarifying again, bonuses will be in before 1.0. I think there was some misconception or how I worded it before. Bonuses are planned to be supported and fully leaderboarded before 1.0. So absolutely. That's like 012, 013, kind of around that area. Maybe 011 if we're feeling spicy. So cool. Any other input for this question? All right. Thank you, Ofen. We'll move on.
This next question is pretty good question. I might have some input on this one, but
Absolutely.
I also need a little bit more context on it. Without further ado, Crank is asking, will Momentum have its own materials and models base for maps? If yes, what kind of ETA will they come in terms of which version-wise?
So do you want to
So
answer
maybe
the first
I think I just need a little bit more context on this, like model base for maps. Are we talking in like modular props and materials that come with the game?
Yes.
Are we looking at like
That's what they're asking
prefabs?
for, yeah. Sort of like
Yes.
how if you're like making a jump map, Team Fortress 2, they have all the TF2 assets. I would imagine once we're done with the campaign, we would release those assets to just be used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the idea. So imagine like when you install CSS or CS:GO, you have all the VPKs, all the textures, and you can make maps utilizing those textures. Essentially, that's what I'm trying to aim for with our campaign as it develops. A bunch of modular assets in terms of models and textures that people are able to reuse over and over and over and have a variety of different things. So it's not just you using the dev textures to test something. You could actually use some of the stuff that we already have.
And I think we already have some texture packs that come with the game, I think.
There's a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, just like Nairo Dev and like real world textures, I think.
Yeah, we are planning to add a lot of common freely licensed art packs, basically, to texture packs, model packs that mappers use frequently. So real world textures, and yeah, so there's a ton that we want to add, and then that way it's just you download them once and they're with the base game. You can use them for your maps, as well as all of the maps that use them can just have those stripped out of the maps. So yeah, so you'll probably see that first, but our original assets probably later towards the campaign, probably after the campaign drops.
Learn what we need to do some textures for the learn section.
True. Yes.
Usable.
Yeah.
So also Atlas, but let's not go into that now.
Right. Yeah. That'll it's down the line.
That's kind of worms, and yeah.
So in terms of version-wise, when it comes to answering this question, certainly after 1.0.
Yeah. Yep. After
a public release, you'll probably start seeing some of these things getting implemented.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I plan to have the map content repos, so like the real world textures and stuff. I plan to have that before 1.0. So those will be with the game before 1.0. But that's just common map assets. That's not ours, right? But you'll be seeing ours, yeah, after 1.0. Cool. Any other input for this question? All right, let's move on. Thank you, Crank.
I wish we had Spring Scale here for this question.
Yeah.
Oslo wants to know, how will Momentum Man be depicted when surfing on ramps? And Spring
love to
Scale
show
is one of our animators.
Yes.
She's definitely come up with some really cool looking animations, cool looking ideas. That's why I wish she was here. But also, she doesn't have a microphone, so we would have to speak for her.
It also sucks because we can't embed webms to these fucking slides. Otherwise, I'd show it. I think you can embed like a YouTube video though. I should have done that. Anyway, yeah, there's we have some animations in store, but I don't want to spoil it. It looks so good.
I don't either. That's why
So
I wish she was here,
So
at least.
good.
it looks really good. Like seriously. So I kind of want to just like unleash it in the wild and have people watch replays in third person and see how it is. Yeah. So Momentum Man will look fucking badass. That's that's what I'll say. So we'll
It definitely won't be a T pose like in Source.
Yeah.
assert dominance pose. Let's go. How else do you get world record? Yeah, a lot more
It'll have to,
interactive.
like respond to how you're surfing, like if you're going down or up a ramp and stuff like that.
Yep.
Instead
How
of sort of,
how
like,
steep the ramp
awkwardly
is.
floating.
Mm-hmm.
Soldier legs.
Yeah. Soldier legs where he's just like doing a doggy paddle. And... yeah. No, it'll be great.
Yes.
But just we really can't like say anything more than that. You'll have to just stay.
You'll just have to see it. See it to believe it.
One sphere.
Okay. Any other input for this question? All right. Thank you, Oslo, for that. We'll move on.
Osplo.
Was it Osplo? I think it was. I think it was somebody else.
That was Osplo.
Oslo or
That was
Osplo?
I thought there was like somebody named. Okay.
It says Oslo.
Osplo.
Oh, did I type it wrong?
Reported.
I was thinking
You got-
Oslo too.
Got Oslo and Honda.
Let me just triple check.
We're gonna have to have Hex.
Oh, god damn it. I'm sorry, Osplo. Oh, damn it. Sorry about that. I could have sworn it said Oslo. I just one too many mistakes. Another one and I'm kicked out. Just
All right,
packing my bags.
butchering the names. You just.
I butchered typing them. Unfollowed. Fuck. Oh my god. Damn it.
Our next question by KJR is asking us, will there be hours tracked for game modes and maps? And
Yes, I'm going to fight for it if we.
Yes.
Because,
No, we will.
Because
We will.
Right now, most of the API calls we do that kind of stuff. We tend to do just at the end of a run, right? So we just tell the server this is a run of this length, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And doing calls where we're like actually monitoring how long we're on a map for can be a bit tricky because we don't want to be pinging the server like constantly. But
No, we can do it.
But yeah, we can do it. And obviously, it's really nice data to have. Just being able to break down your time in different game modes on different maps, and there, then you can correlate, like, you can see how much time you spend on linear maps versus staged or whatever for surf, or like, there's loads of nice stuff we can do with that data. It's one of the most important things for us to add in terms of like stats collection right now. So it will come in the future.
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of
when you
ways that we
crash.
could track. Like, for
Yeah,
instance, you ping the server every time to start a run, right?
Yeah.
Where
Hmm.
you start a session. So we could just look at those.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just handling crashes and stuff, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we would probably just
This way.
we just discount it if you crash, or like, so the other thing too is like if you just leave the game on overnight, we're probably just gonna like,
Yeah.
if it's over a certain amount, we're just probably gonna not count it.
At false.
The heck?
Yeah.
What the heck? My hours, my hard-earned hours.
But yeah, I mean, there is.
Your PC's running.
Yeah, right. Well, it heats us up, at least up here in Michigan. But the main question that I want to know is like, what is valuable for the player to know? Is it how long you've opened a map and like been on a map and then left the map, or is it how long you've been trying runs on a map? Like, is that more valuable? Because yeah, I mean, there's people that would boot up a map, go AFK for 8 hours, come or whatever, right, and then come back and disconnect, and then
we send a ping every time you start a run, right? So we can
right. We have the systems in place for that,
and then run started as well, right? So
Yeah.
So like we can collect these stats there, but it's just like that's the question though, is like how like Steam does it too, right? Like, do you care about total time ever spent on these maps and these game modes, or is it more valuable to see I've tried runs for this amount of time? Because like, should we be tracking? Because like, if you're just spectating somebody for 8 hours, is that you playing for 8 hours? You know,
I think doing both is pretty good, right? Like if we
we could do both actually. Yeah, that's a good point.
One of the things we're just like
no los dos. All right, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we don't want to necessarily add a ton of extra API calls, right? Because that can be expensive. So we don't want
to
like have features that are gonna, you know, if it ends up being like we need to. I don't think we ping the API when you reset currently, right? Or do we?
Oh, you cancel your run session. Yeah, there's session based calls. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in that way, counting both of the things is pretty. I don't know. I think
it's doable. No, it's doable.
Data's good. Like but
and it'll be a lot better than like say how TF2 does it, where it only counts when you die. So you could like be jumping on a map for 8 hours very actively. And then leave, and then none of it counted, right?
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, that's why you don't have a lot of hours when you're jumping.
Wow. But yeah, I would definitely want to see spectating hours counted. You'd use like the spectating main.
We could also add a third. The problem, I mean, it's like it's game mode, so it's like game mode. Well, yeah, if we want it map based, and then there's like you could override the game mode. So like I don't know, like how do you? So like I guess there's so many different hour trackings that we could, or like time trackings that we could do. We just have to look into how we're collecting all of it. But it is going to be based on your like you loaded the map and then what you do in that map, right? So there's hours tracked total on the map. Total time spectating, total time actually playing, doing runs, right? So yeah, we could do that. We could just separate it based on that. And then just add, and then when you quit the map, we just add all of that time to that game mode that you played it on, and then you add all of that time to the map as well. Absolutely. All right, any other input for this question? All right, thank you, KJR. Moving on to the next one.
FredTheSweat is asking, will you be able to save keybinds to game mode so you don't have to swap keybinds around them?
Yes.
Would this be like similar to like different configs?
Yes.
Yeah. Because you could do that right now with if you create configs with the game mode identifier, I guess it's called. .cfg, so like surf.cfg, rj.cfg, you can create configs that execute when you join those modes. So that's a way to do it. But yeah, eventually in UI would be the best. Like, yeah.
We have. I've been ranting about this for ages.
Yeah.
I've always been a big fan of the Overwatch does it.
Yeah, they do it really well.
Hero-based configs and stuff is. Like Overwatch is an annoying game for customization, or just an annoying game. But you know, like that thing is something they do really well. It's a really nice system. So I've got it written down somewhere. Like I wrote a long thing about like exactly how I think it should work. And I think the plan is for 092, where essentially you'll get a drop down in various sections of the settings where you can select a game mode, and then setting an option in there, be it like a keybinder or you know some on off whatever you can then do that now override for a mode if you've set it in there, similar to Overwatch. I think it's going to work really well, and I think it's also just enormously important because it's so. If you play a lot of different modes, like you kind of have to have a config right now, and anything where we can avoid people needing to edit files themselves
Yeah.
and like no console commands. Like obviously people are welcome to do that. But having native support for it at this point, I think, is just essential. So
Yep. Yeah. Because different modes have different abilities too. Like A-hop has sprint.
So much. Like A-hop compared to like surf or something where you're like,
right.
Yeah.
Yep. So
yeah, turn binds is like, yeah, like if you're
Yep.
playing surf, you probably want turn binds, but like you don't want that for A-hop or
right. So yeah, so hopefully that helps, Fred. That's absolutely on our docket. You can currently do it by manually creating the configs, but we'll be creating the configs for you in the settings when we get around to it. 092-ish kind of planned. So very soon. But yes. All right, we'll move on to the next one. Thank you, Fred.
Next question by CC is asking us, how will custom HUDs be installed and made? Will it be like diabotical with an internal editor, or like Team Fortress 2's with all the external files and folders? I think
I did
Unleash
this.
Tom on
like
this
TF2.
question.
I know I just did a question, but so it's a bit up in the air because I have some really bold, ambitious ideas, and I'm not sure if we'll end up doing them or not because they're really bold and ambitious. But essentially, Diabotical has, I think, an amazing HUD editor. I think some of it's changed now because they moved some of their UI around. I only really played like pre-release and on-release, like around the beta. But it's crazy, like how good that HUD customizer is. If we can get that set up so we can do that through Panorama, which should definitely be possible, but if we can do that without needing a lot of C++ work.
Yeah.
Also keep in mind we've just brought on 2 new people that intend to be working Panorama, Peanscreeker and Aaron, which gives us some more freedom as well for UI work. Being able to like drag HUD panels around in game would be really, really nice. Shareable codes, I don't know. I think I'd need web work, and I exactly
we could have the website store like a JSON file of your.
We could.
HUD.
Essentially, what I've been pushing for us would be we don't want to use convars. Having it just be in files is a bit annoying. Like currently, Panorama is very, very customizable. And people can do crazy stuff with it. Oh yeah, we've not been doing that.
Thank you, Zeva.
But in terms of what I care more and more about is the easy, like not having to leave the game to customize. Like I think that would be so much nicer than having to like edit a bunch of config files.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, we'd probably end up having that stored in like Valve key value files, but which could then be like passed in and out of JSON. So shareable key stuff is probably quite easy there. So there's not a guarantee that we're going to do this, but we'd like to. And there's a lot of potential there. So yeah, I could ramble on about this for ages, but internal stuff maybe, file-based stuff absolutely. There already is. You can do a lot with it, though we don't really recommend it because we're working on stuff a lot right now, so a lot of stuff can get overwritten and whatnot. We'll definitely do more tutorials and stuff on doing the file-based editing. So yeah, internal stuff we'll see, but hopefully.
Yep. It would be good to always support external files. Just being able to drag and drop like someone's VPK in.
That's the thing, is that right now we could use Panorama persistent storage, but it's like a flat DB that's not human readable, which is really annoying.
And it doesn't merge.
Yeah, right.
So
So what
if you
we
import
need
something
is a
else
system where you have file-based editing. And you always will be able to go in and like edit like XML and JavaScript stuff even. But in terms of like being able to like change some stuff in game, basic like customization of primarily HUD, right? Like we're not going to do like the main menu UI or whatever.
Yeah.
But we want to make it so stuff in the HUD, a lot of the styling properties of that, like the position, the background color of like any panel or whatever, can get moved around. We want to make it so it's very easy to do that in files and hopefully do it in game as well. But those two will like work nicely together. That's the hard thing, right? Is actually having the file format stored in such a way that's easily human readable, but also fast and easy to read by Panorama. So
yeah, a lot of internal discussion and like basically just like theory crafting on like how it'll work best, but and studying like Diabotical's system, because it is, yeah, it's pretty good. So, you know, if it works,
really passionate about it.
if people
I
really
think-
like it, yeah, absolutely. So it's something we'll be looking into, but it's going to take a lot of time, and hopefully it's something that we can schedule correctly and doesn't push back 1.0 too much.
That's the thing is, we should only do it if it does involve a bunch of C++ work.
Right.
C++ devs are too precious, and we just have limited amount of C++ dev time.
Yeah.
With Panorama, because it's not closed source and like anyone can work on it, we can be a bit more ambitious with some of that stuff.
We can always add it after 1.0 as well. Like we can just have it
yeah,
be
absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely something we really care about.
Yeah. Any other input for this question? Okay, cool. Thank you, CC, for that. Hopefully you'll like what we eventually come up with. We'll communicate it more too as we approach that, but right now it's file-based only. You have to override, but we'll get better with internal.
So our next question by J Swag is asking, since defrag is unique in that it is split into two sub modes, how do you plan to accommodate both? Does it pose any UX or UI challenges?
No. The play button. The play button.
Are we using it?
Sorry. What were we gonna say? Pete?
Nothing. You can get.
You're all good. I was just gonna say that yes, we can do it because earlier in this Q&A we were asked about whether or not Tricksurf will be its own mode or not. So when it comes to maps supporting different modes and having leaderboards for them, we want to make sure that it's pretty clear that you can like play a map like in a different mode than supported. Right now we allow you to right click any map on the leaderboard that you have, or sorry, on the map selector that you have downloaded, and right click it and play in a different game mode. But what we'd like to do is have the play button, either one of the play buttons, have pretty much a drop down that if it supports multiple modes, you select which mode you'd like to play it with. So when you do the map command, it'll have probably a default, right? It'll just throw back to some default. But when you go through the map selector, you'll be able to select which one you want to do. And then while in game, we could probably have some sort of thing to switch which mode if it supports multiple. But the main thing is when you get in game under a certain mode, it'll be very clearly on the leaderboards on the UI that you're in this mode and that the leaderboard is only for this mode, right? It gets really confusing if you boot up a map and then see like 25 different like leaderboards for something, right? So we don't want to overwhelm people. That could be where the challenge is, right? We want to make sure it's very easy to understand, like, oh, hey, this supports, you know, these are like the official alternate modes. There's a lot of defrag maps, for instance, that play really well in AHOP, and might be some good cross mixing of the modes there, like having a map be an environment and then allowing mappers to filter based on what mode is loaded into the map is also something else we want to look into. Maybe there's a different route, maybe a shortcut or something opens up in a different mode, or whatever, right? Like maybe it's not possible in another mode except for this one thing that needed to be done. So things like that, absolutely, we want to support. And so, yeah, the UI, UX is mainly just going to be inside of the map selector. Again, we don't want people to have to use the console to do anything, including loading maps. We want to make sure the map selector is at least, I mean, I guess maybe if you're making a map, that's when you use the console. But when it comes to like actually playing Momentum, we want to promote people using the official UI that like has all of these features in it, and that's where we'll be putting these alternate modes. So yes, accommodating absolutely both. we will. There's some maps that don't work, right? There's some maps that are CPM only or not, or VQ3 only or something. So that's you know, we'll have that just imposed. But when you upload a map, you could say which modes, and it'll also be editable, so it could be added retroactively. You can say which modes it supports, right? Same with which like styles as well too. If you don't want W only runners to play on your map or something, I don't know. Like we can have like filters like that too on like the mapper side when you upload or edit your map. So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a fun little UI challenge, but I mean, a lot of it's going to be tilted around that. So like there's going to be probably some maps that are skill surf, but could also work for Tricksurf, things like that. But there will be a default mode that the map was made for in mind, but it will be really interesting to see because prefixes are only just a suggestion of the mode. What we could do is like in the future, maps could just be made for multi-mode stuff, right? Like you could play 4 different modes on the same exact environment, and just like set like and have different like replayability basically. Like I think that's really appealing. So getting more out of the content, right? Like that. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it'll be a fun UX challenge, I think. But I think we got a path forward for it.
I think the biggest headache comes from just deciding what will be actually ranked, because we've got the point system, right? That when you complete maps, you set your times, you get added to this overall like game mode leaderboard. Yeah, I think it's just deciding what does get ranked and what is just kind of like casual leaderboards, really.
Yeah. We can even set it up so that the play button has like a play button and then like a vertical column that's like a drop down arrow. So like if you want to play a specific mode or like another mode for the map, if you hit play, it goes into the default ranked mode. But if you want to play the unranked or the other modes, we can have that drop down. So that, and then that shows all of the supported modes and like whether or not it's ranked or unranked. But yeah. Any other input for this question? Cool. Thank you, JSwag, for that. We'll move on to the next one.
Our next question is by Uni asking, are there any plans to make a mode with a 1-to-1 ratio for Apex Legends movement?
No.
No. Triple no.
Just, we want modes that are deep and complex. And I mean, Titanfall 2 is deeper and more complex than Apex, right? Apex is very similar, right? But just takes out a bunch of stuff.
They're the same, but they're slightly different. It's like easier.
Yeah. Oh, they like nerfed it for competitive.
I'm sure there's some cool stuff in Apex, but like it's not anything like on the level of Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
So why do a less complex and good version?
Yeah.
We definitely don't want to do both versions, right? And if we're going to do one of the two, we're going to do the better one, right? So
maybe with all of our limit triggers, parkour mappers can make Apex Legends style maps where you boot up and you can't wall run on anything because they put wall run blocking everywhere and stuff like that. Like, I mean, we can support it like that, but like, I mean, yeah, we're not gonna have like like parkour Titanfall 2 style or just running around Apex style. No, I kid. I know there's a lot of really crazy movement tech, but it overlaps right with Titanfall 2, and then Titanfall 2 just goes deeper, and it's, in my opinion, just more entertaining and fun to play. So yeah, I mean, no knock, Apex is great, but it's like I think Titanfall 2 is just the depth that we want out of a mode. So we're gonna go full on Titanfall 2. We'll support mappers' requests to have things like limiting wall running, so we'll have that aspect to where you can kind of get it closer to Apex, but yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be more Titanfall 2. Any other input for this? All right, moving on. Thank you, Uni, for that question.
I think this next question is kind of like a follow-up to the last question. ZM is asking, will there be a way for users to mod their own movement into the game? Like if someone wanted to add Team Fortress 2 detonator jumping?
We could look into it after 2.0, honestly. Having that's where we would be looking at like this kind of maybe scripting layer or something. It just has to be performant is the main thing. But yeah, I mean, maybe. We'll see. Again, if it's like, yeah, altering like gameplay movement and stuff like that. I don't know. Like, yeah.
in its current state, you'd have to do like some reverse engineering.
Right.
But yeah, hopefully soon we could maybe open things up a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like we were open we were open source for the longest time, and like there's all these wonderful questions about like all these different modes and stuff, but we never saw the level of that interest when we were open source for that. And like nobody came in and added TF2 Detonator Jumping or anything. So like
someone did, I don't think we'd have accepted it, right? Because it's
maybe
too,
I mean, if it was fully done and like that's the thing is like the nice thing about open source is that when you can bring the work there, but when it comes to like you have developers that would want to like add more things to this game that makes sense to be there, right? So Detonator Jumping, if that is something that actually like would be something cool to like kind of like tech and like just see like how it works, and we could implement it as an experimental mode, that's something we could do. We could add it as just this experimental, oh, you got to set the game mode to 13 or whatever, right? Or whatever that we have in the future, and that like there's your Detonator Jumping, and then have fun. Like that's kind of how beggars and trimping and stuff is going to get added. It's just kind of like we're going to throw it in the future, and then just like you have to kind of activate it maybe in mapping mode or something. And it's not the question of content, because content can always come. I mean, AHOP, right? AHOP doesn't have any content, but we're getting a shit ton of maps made for it, which is really, really good. But like these experimental modes can be added and then just kind of like left as kind of this cheat enabled like thing that you can go and do, no official maps. And then we just see how it evolves and like how people like it. Because again, we have TF2's code. We can use TF2's code. We have the license to, so we can add exactly TF2 detonator jumping, right? Like it's not a problem. The main thing is just should we, and like is there enough like people to actually want it? Because otherwise, yeah, if we're just implementing detonator jumping instead of finishing 1.0, I'm sure a lot of people will be really happy with us.
I mean, there is still stuff like any
Right.
mode still takes space in the UI, like literally we're just adding another mode. It takes generally like extra convars. It takes making a learn section for it, right?
Yeah.
Any mode we add, like it's not just a matter of we add the movement code and that's it. Like it needs to be promising enough that like we want to fully support it. Like we are sort of like endorsing every mode that we're adding, right?
Yes.
We're saying like we think these modes are good enough to be in the game because they have a level of depth and popularity that makes them worth having. I don't play TF2 really anymore, but I'm certain that like detonator jumping isn't on that level. Like, I mean, it just isn't.
Nowhere near
right?
2 maps.
No.
There's
Right.
one map that's way too good for what it
Yeah.
is. But
Yeah.
So it does help us to keep our scope somewhat limited, right? And to have like a really clear picture of exactly what we want in the game and when. And personally, I feel that even if someone did come along and wrote all of detonator jumping, like, would we want that? I don't like. I just think that would just be bloat essentially. And I think, I don't know.
yeah.
Again, supported in some unofficial convar only accessible capacity is like the way that we would go forward with something so niche like this, and then just see if there's actually any user interest in what could come out of that.
Yeah.
Because as long as I talked about this in my interview with H2, I believe, is there's a chicken and egg problem of like, okay, well, detonator jumping doesn't have any content, but there's no platform for detonator jumping except for TF2, I guess. But like, so like it just like, do we add the platform for it to potentially become a thing, or do we wait for it to be a thing on an existing platform to add it? Because that's the approach we've kind of been taking with all these existing modes, but then all these new or niche modes that are speedrunnable, that fit our scope and our vision, should we at least allow them to be experimented on? Things like beggars, things like trimping, right?
Beggars
like
for sure. Beggars, detonator, we kind of can be confident from the start. Right. Like detonator, it's too. Like there's nothing like complex about detonator jumping, right? Like it is just the one projectile you fire at yourself and has, I guess, a timing of when you get it, but like you can't fire that many. You can't do like deep stuff with it, right?
Yeah.
And then how far does it go
maybe,
to
right?
it? Yeah. Like how similar is it to sticky bomb? Right. Is it sticky bombs but they roll?
Right.
Or,
right.
yeah.
I think we've been really well. I wasn't even part of the team when this decision was made, but like the decision to go with the 10 modes we have now, I think it's just a really sound one. I think we're really unlikely to ever have any other modes that come close to it, because everything we've added we know has like a ton of depth, because there's already other modes which use it a lot. Even stuff like parkour and Titanfall 2 and AHOP, they have the speedrunning communities where we can see people having like incredible skill with them.
Yeah.
And like TF2's been around a while. Like Beggars, I get, like, but maybe I'm wrong. Actually, maybe Beggars is actually really cool and has some real depth to it.
Yeah, and we'll never know, right? We'll never know, because it's like, unless it's demonstrated enough where all of these 10 modes have been, right? All of these 10 modes have very unique, very interesting like mechanics to them, or a depth of like thousands of maps potentially, right? Whereas like these detonator jumping, beggars, trimping is like, these are mechanics that might be useful to be their own modes, but we would only experimentally add it. No UI or anything. You would just have to like convar your way into it and then load a map that supports it or something. So yeah, but that's the way that we'd approach it. Because again, like modding their own movement into the game, like, so then you have to distribute that mod, right? So how does that distribution work? Right, we don't want maps to pack redundant things in them. We're trying to reduce that. So then it would have to be eventually part of the game itself anyway. So it's like, why not just work with devs to get like that experimental mode in as an experiment, right? Like something that you go and try. Anyway, so that's like kind of how I view it right now. Is like detonator, beggars, trim is like on my mind of like things that we could try to add in the future for content that could be generated in the future, or just experimental modes. If it doesn't get anywhere, we just remove it, right? Like nobody plays it or anything. We could leave it in and just say it's deprecated or something, right? Pull the Microsoft route. But yeah, I don't know. Like it'd be interesting to see like where it can go, but I don't know if modding the game or anything is going to be the route to take. Because again, we were open source for the longest time and nobody made it. I don't know. I know Lumia added beggars and trimping to the defrag mod that they have, but yeah. Was there any other input for this question? Oh no, did we lose Bray?
I'm here.
Oh, hi.
I don't know. The camera just stopped working.
Okay. It might be lag, maybe, but okay.
I accidentally hit the back key on my web browser.
Huh.
So that's probably what it is.
Oh shit! So it
yeah,
it reassigned you. Oh crap! Yeah, I wish I had
forgot.
Yeah, no, it's I have to enter studio mode. I don't know if you can do that while streaming. I'll look into that though. I need to start doing these streams with studio mode so I can like edit a source while live on another. I mean, these are kind of bigger productions, so anyway, yeah. So we'll move on. Thank you, ZM, for that question.
We're getting called out on this next question.
Oh boy.
But it is a valid question. Boogey is asking, why are the key giveaways still so slow? Are we still working on server bandwidth, or what is the case? Yes.
I'll take this one. Project lead and all. Yes, we are still working on server bandwidth. We're actually working on rewriting our backend fully. It is completely open source, and if you'd like to help out, please check out our GitHub instead of complaining. The other thing too that I'd like to note is that we are working on this in our free time. The game is not ready for thousands of people to play and get opinions on it yet, right? It is at the point where we want to trickle people in so that we're getting to the point where we're testing overtime server bandwidth, but also just not being like, hey, it's done, right? Because like the moment we open floodgates or anything, right, we're basically transmitting to the world that it's done, that it's ready. And that this question won't be, where are the keys? Where's my game? When can I play it? It's, where's the maps? Where's X? You know, like it goes on and on and on about like different things that'll be added in the future until there's just like nobody left to complain to. And like I understand that it gets really tedious waiting for something that is being made completely for free in our free time. But like, you have to understand that we're progressing at a consistent rate to where we will be dropping keys faster than people are signing up for it. At 0.10.0, that'll be the case. It's slowed down enough. We have 28? 20, wait, no, it was like 9, 5, and 13. So like, we have like 23,000 people signed up, and we're doing 50 a day, which isn't that much, I understand. But like, we're dropping 100 a day when only 50 like people still sign up, and then we'll bump that in 0.11.0 with the replay refactor. Like, the main thing is, once people get in the game, people are going to start making assumptions about the state of the game. Even though we have a giant pop-up that says, hey, we're not done, your times are going to be wiped. People don't like to read, right? People still, like, you know, will come in and just say, hey, where's like all of the like BHOT maps? There's only like 10 or something. And it's like, yeah, we know we're about to literally wipe the site and like re-implement our like the new backend, and then all of the new zones. We have a new zone format that's coming. It's going to basically just obliterate all of the current zones. We have a new replay format that's going to completely obliterate every single time that anyone's ever made. You won't be able to play your old replays. Like, there's so much of this stuff that's like, we don't want thousands of people to just start complaining about like, oh, where did my old replays go? I can't play them anymore. Or like, oh, where are all the maps? And it's like, we're working on like the core game, like, you know? So there's frustration definitely on both sides of this. And I want to just focus this more towards, we completely appreciate your patience. We have a completely open source website and other things like Discord bot and forums and stuff. I mean, it'd be great to have people to help out with those. We need people to help us out, and that leads to getting a key. Like, working on the website can get you a key. Working on documentation, because we're busy fucking coding shit and not documenting shit, gets you a key. Like, there are things that can get you access to the game instead of sitting in our Discord and saying that your friend got it and saying that we're taking forever or something. And maybe we are, but like, what the fuck? Like, what can we do about it? Like, at the same time, it's like, we are working at the pace that is the most comfortable to our like situations in our lives, right? I have a full-time job. I work on this game basically from like 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. or midnight, right? 8 p.m. to midnight. I have 4 hours every day. I get to look at like PRs and do a little bit of coding. That's during the week. Weekends, I have team meetings and stuff. I get a little bit more time, some time to relax as well. You know, having, you know, this game is my life, but also I have a life outside of it that I like to, you know, explore. So it's just a matter. And then, you multiply that across all the team members. We have people that are definitely doing their best in the free time that they have. And it can be slow, I know, but we have no burden. Like, you didn't pay us money, right? Maybe you donated, but you supported the cause. That's like the point of the donations, right? Server bandwidth is not the primary reason. It's one of them. We don't know what 23,000 people connecting to our game at the same time is going to do to us. It might handle it, actually, and we might have been really fucking badass with how we structured everything back in 2015 or whenever, right? When we worked on the initial implementation. But like, there's so much work that needs to be done still that we're just not comfortable with it. And it's that level of comfort that we're waiting on. And I understand that people don't really see it as that. They see it as like this game that's been in development since 2014, right? But not really. Real life also got in the way for a lot of that. And then we actually got the idea of what this game will be. I'm trying not like this question doesn't anger me in any way. I hope I'm not coming across as like seething or like, you know, butthurt or anything. Like, I want this game to come out. This is just more motivation for us to get this game out, right? Not rush it, mind you, right? A rush game is forever bad, right? Delayed game is eventually good. But yeah, like, we just want you to understand that we're taking our time. That we want this game to be perfect. Not perfect. As good as it can be. And with that, right, over time, we will be more and more open to people. If you're paying attention in the chat, we're giving out keys. Like, we want to slowly trickle people in, generate the slow hype. And then once we build up to 1.0, everyone gets access. We're not going back to a key-based, like the moment we click release, we can only click that release button once. Well, technically twice with the playtest, but my point remains. 1.0 only happens once, right? We only get one shot at 1.0, right? So we're approaching 1.0 in a fashion that makes the most sense. And right now it's just trickling it out, ramping it up with 0.10.0, ramping it up even more with 0.11.0, probably going open playtests around 1.0, but that might be a soft release. I don't know how we want to do that. We'll figure that one out. But like 1.0, once we hit 1.0, we want it to be hyped to fucking everything, right? Like it's a huge milestone for the game, and it's going to happen. Absolutely going to happen. I want to play this game, right? I want it to be out so my times matter, right? Like I want to play this game. So I hope that, you know, anybody that has the same sentiment just sees that we're open with you guys. We want like transparent. We don't know why your friends are getting the game before you. We genuinely don't. We could reach out to Steam. Who knows if they're going to allow us to change the order, or they'll touch up their random algorithm or something that's been giving people that you tell to sign up priority. I don't know. Like we just have a number box and a button to grant it, and that's it. We could filter by like country, but that's it. Like that's all we get. Or we could blast open the gate and allow everybody to get in. So yeah, like I'd like to just return back to we appreciate your time that you spend attending these Q&As, staying patient, reading our dev blogs, seeing our team updates that we do in Team Showcase, just hanging out in the Discord as we approach 1.0, right? 1.0 and onwards is going to be a huge, probably different breath of fresh air, right? Because it's on, baby, right? Like we're live. Like anyone can play this game. Anyone. It's not clicking a button and waiting, right? It's anyone. And you know, and that could balloon. That number could go up to millions. Who knows? I'm not saying that it will, but like who knows?
At least 6.
Right. At least 6 people. So, you know, at least one, right? At least one person's gonna play it. Yeah. I might install it.
I might.
Yeah. So just I guess the other thing I just want to add is it doesn't help anybody complaining. Like this question, like, so if we were to cater to this, if we sped up key giveaways, we start getting more and more people that are asking for more and more maps, more and more server bandwidth, right, being used. Who knows if it can support it. We want to get to the point where we are testing that. We are stress testing that. But we have a lot of work ahead of us still with the rewrites of the zones and the replays. And then the website, too. We have a lot of web work to be done. So there's a lot of work there that, like, just dropping the game, releasing a shit ton of keys right now just won't help. It just won't help because we'll get a lot of the same bugs reported, the same questions asked.
Why do the teleports work on Chris?
Could I just add that, like,
exactly,
we are doing playtests because we are playtesting the game, right? We do actually care about the feedback people give us, right?
Yes, yeah.
And if we right now we're not, it's nice having. Generally, people don't stick around to give feedback for that long. Yeah. Some people do, and that's great, but most people don't. And so, like, if we, give out a shitload of keys now, we'll get us, a sudden load of feedback of people saying generally the same stuff we already know about. When if we do it, starting 0.10, we ramp up, that will be an update where we actually need feedback on tons of stuff, and like all the bugs people have with maps then like actually matter to us. Right now, most, I would say, of the reports we get are people saying, oh, this map is broken or something, and it's like, we don't care about that right now. Like, we know those maps are broken, and it's just so, like, it's not that we're trying to like stop we're not trying to make people unhappy or whatever by keeping it slow, but like it is also, we need to get feedback at the time when we benefit from the feedback, which is not particularly right now.
Yeah,
it will be much more on 0.10. Sorry, I butted in, but yeah.
No, it's fair. It's very good points there. And yeah, it's I mean, and it's not a blanket, right? It's not, oh, everybody of the thousands of people we would add would leave. Like, we don't view it like that, but it's it's a lot of noise. It's a lot of noise when you're developing, and it's like we want to know, oh, is there a new crash from the new push that we just did, rather than my surf utopia is purple and black, how to fix. And like, yes, we know we need UX there, and we'll get to that as well, but like, you know, like it's just how do you balance that? And that slow trickle balances it. Believe it or not, it balances it. And with Sentry reporting, which is about to actually go out, we can see where crashes are happening, even if people don't fucking report them, right? Like, which is another thing, right? Like people could be crashing the game, but they don't like try to reproduce it. And that's huge. Crashing the game is bad. It's terrible, right? Like, so like, well, not like it's terrible for us because we have to fix that. That's like, we don't want people to crash. So yeah. Yeah. Any other input on this question? I talked a lot about.
I want the game to come out
Yeah,
faster.
you gotta cool off.
No,
We genuinely need web devs and stuff. And like, if you want a game out faster, come and do some web dev with us.
Yes, please help.
DM me.
Please help. Again, complaining doesn't help. It
No.
gets the point across, but we're
It's
also
also kind of soul destroying when you get people that are just like whining about like release deadlines and stuff, and it's just
Yeah.
like it's really unpleasant.
So help us
Well,
out.
I know our next question is another controversy. Not necessarily keys.
So thank you, Boogey, for that question. By the way, every question is valid, but yeah, we'll move on to the next.
You gave Goknak the opportunity to blow off some steam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our next question is by Alban asking, is there any update on being able to install the game on Mac OS X, and will it be possible in the future? I think we on the
No
team
updates.
know the answer to this one.
We don't have any devs on Mac,
Yeah.
so I mean, it's just I think.
If we did,
Yeah.
maybe, but it would be low priority, right? Like it's
Yeah.
still like, so few people are on Mac. Getting it to work with like Metal. I mean, maybe there's DXVK stuff we can.
We would need like a
finding
new
things people
dev
do, but, like,
that's
yeah, it
really
would
dedicated
be-
to Mac,
Yeah.
which is rare in
Yeah.
games.
how many
Right.
C++ devs use on Mac? I mean,
I thought we weren't supporting it because it was something to do with like the DirectX.
Yeah,
Metal was
S-
annoying.
Originally, it
SDK
was 32-bit support. They
Yes.
dropped 32-bit support, and we were moving to 64-bit only, or something. No, we were stuck to 32-bit, and then they dropped 32-bit to move to 64-bit only. But now we're on 64-bit, so it shouldn't be a problem in that regard. But
Yeah.
yeah, we just don't have any devs.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
it was
anybody-
originally dropped
Anybody in
when
the
we were
chat
on
is looking for a
SDK.
key if you work
Mhm.
on Mac. There's your in.
Yeah.
Well, you have to be NDA'd and everything, and
Right. But
yeah, the whole process.
You're getting
Yeah.
more than a key if you work with Mac.
You have to be very trusted and
Yeah.
also have development experience
Yeah.
and also work on a Mac. So I don't know how many people there's going to be applying for that.
yeah, it doesn't help that their architecture changes every 4 years. They drop 32-bit. They're dropping 64-bit in favor of ARM now with all of the new M1 chips, which are impressive. Like, the hardware is impressive, but it's like fucking ARM based. So we have to hope that all of our libraries can compile over to ARM, which includes Steam. Like, I don't know if Steam works on it. I think it does. Steamworks has to work on ARM. So there's a lot of work that has to be done. And then Metal, yeah, the rendering layer. So DX11, which is our current focus, is not Metal. It needs to be translated to Vulkan, then Vulkan to Metal. So there's 2 steps that the rendering pipeline has to take now.
Ugh.
So it does not help that Apple makes it very good to be a Mac developer on Mac, and not Windows and Linux dev coming to
Yeah.
Mac. They make it very, very hard to do that. But it is possible in the future.
Windows has been much better with Linux stuff, and like
Yeah.
2 of them lately. But you know, Apple are always going to be Apple, where they're just pricks to anyone that's not on a Mac.
Yeah. So sorry. Maybe in the future, if we get serious Mac devs and like enough effort there, I know there's like technically backwards like compatibility too with the M1 chips, so there is like a level of like, oh, we could probably, if we get like Molten VK working, maybe. But there's a lot of ifs there. I don't know how good the translation layer of like the M1 ARM to x64 stuff is, or vice versa rather. But yeah, hopefully that answers that. So no update on it, mainly because we just don't have any Mac devs, and then I don't know how much work that'll even be, and that might be a lot of work for one, or like, I don't know how many Mac devs we'd need. It'd be a lot of work for just the devs involved. It's like a whole engine team to do it. There's already someone on the team named Mac. Very true. Very true. You got us there. But he's not a dev. Anyway.
Mac and C++ would be fine.
Yeah. I mean, Mac is the master of porting, so it does it does work, right? But hopefully that helps answer that, Alban. I'm sorry about that. I don't know if you can cross or dual boot. I think there's like Boot Camp or something, right? You can boot into Windows on a Mac. That could be an option. Other than that, yeah, there's probably no main support for you. Sorry. Moving on to the next one. Thank you, Alban, for that question.
This next question, I think we've gone over this in the past. It sounds familiar. FadedFrank is asking, will world record runs be posted on the Momentum YouTube channel?
So I guess recapping our answer we gave a long time ago, we would like to have some sort of official Momentum runs channel that we have some sort of like moderation or whatever say, but we would like it for it to be kind of handled by the community. World record runs automatically uploading to a channel or something like that could be handled by some third party that we at least have some sort of like direct communication with, mainly because if you're going to be using like our branding and stuff, we just want to make sure that like it's not coming across as like, oh, this is the official Momentum, like, you know, like, so people aren't tarnishing our brand behind our back. But absolutely. And then the thing for the official Momentum YouTube channel was going to be we were going to focus more on showcases. So things like new maps that we could kind of showcase, or maybe mappers, interviews with mappers. We would love to start doing that. See like inspiration, celebrate maybe runners, do like those giant montages that have like a bunch of really nice world record runs by these really talented runners. We could do things like that. Tournaments as well. We would like to do tournaments on our official Momentum channel. So like Surf's Up, things like that. That'd be great to have it on our official channel there. Well, I mean, Surf's Up, I would probably talk with Kurt. Kurt probably wants it on their channel. But anyway, you know what I mean. Like where it's like we would probably have some right to also have it on our channel or something. But like that's what I mean. It's like we want promoting more of our community than just like, oh, here's a run, you know, like here's 2 minutes of gameplay. We would want to show off like, oh, here's like a collection of people's runs. Here's a interview that we did with like this runner or something and asking about them, or like what they really enjoy, right, about it. So that kind of stuff would be really great for our channel, I think. More community focused, showcasing stuff. And then like runs and maybe like, yeah, montages, sick edits, you know, Mom RJ Weekly, stuff like that. That stuff could be handled by the community, just making sure that they're following kind of like our branding guidelines and making sure they're representing our game. And if they do use like our branding, making sure that it's not like coming across as like, this is the official Momentum, like RJ Weekly or something, you know, like.
Well, there is a Momentum Records.
Yes.
That
yeah.
we don't own.
That we don't own.
It's
So
pretty
I don't know if
unclear.
it seems
should,
like
probably-
it seems pretty. It almost it does seem like we own that, like from taking a look at it. You know.
So that's the
maybe
thing
we
is
should take up a namespace or something. I don't know.
Right.
If we're going to plan on doing that.
Right. But it would ideally be run by a community like member or community team. We would not be doing that. We would be focusing more on higher production stuff like the interviewing, the tournaments, things like that. Mapping competitions, showing off the entries there. That kind of stuff would be really, really phenomenal to have. showing off our game and in all of its various aspects, as opposed to here's every single run ever, every single world record run ever. So cool. All right. Any other input for this? All right. Thank you, FadedFrank, for that question. We'll move on to the next.
I like how this next question's been worded. Just your eventual ruler is asking or is saying, Defrag is now live. How are the concers holding it up?
I think we're currently in a standoff about settings right now. We're in a conch identity crisis right now, with the forum posts. So, what should conch even be?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So that's where they're currently at. We're currently seeing what makes conch fun, and what would be something that's approachable while still maintaining difficulty, while enforceable, while fun. So yeah, it's fun. we gotta probably reach some sort of consensus there. But that's how they're holding up. Other than that, yeah, Defrag is now live. It's not finalized. We got some work to do. Lumia is doing some great stuff. We'll talk about in a bit. I think there's a question about Defrag right after this too. But yeah.
False has also been making some pretty slick looking models for it.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I could show a little bit. I don't know.
Heck yeah. So, hopefully that answers that eventual ruler. But yeah, any other input for this? All right, we'll move on. Thank you for that question.
Our next question is Ark asking, currently the map selector only shows if your time is a top 10. Will it also show groups and medal times?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just needs to be done.
Yeah, so web stuff we don't have for groups yet. We will in the future when rewrite is done, stuff like that. We'll actually we're just not passing in that information to Panorama yet. I don't know if the gateway has it currently. I forget what is where we actually have groups implemented. We have all the math for like how it should be done anyway. So,
Yeah.
The medal times, like we started doing some medals like first, second, and third or something, and then never did them or finished them. But it's just top 10. At some point, we'll do that. We'll do some icons for like 1 to 9. I think it's because before I did like top 1 to top 2, top 3 or something, and it was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know quite how to make it look. Trikz did some like medal mock-ups, I think, that like we were never super happy with.
There's also the concept of medal times like Trackmania, where it's like it's almost like what the group system kind of is aiming to be, where it's like we set kind of like these hard-coded like times to beat to get a specific medal of like bronze, silver, gold, mommy or whatever, right? If we go that route of Trackmania, having like a really hard time to get into like the top like 3 groups or something. But yeah, if we want first, second, third place to have medals too, we could do that. But it might conflict if we do that medal system that like Trackmania does to kind of promote like, ooh, getting all golds on all of the maps, right? Something like that.
We definitely want it to be where you can like scroll down through the whole list of maps and like just be scrolling through and see like all the different group times you got very easily. So like,
yeah,
if you want to be like, oh, I want to get group 4 or above on like every surf map, like you can, it'll be very clear like what.
Because I mean, it will eventually get to the point where there's thousands. Like B-Hop Easy has like over 1,000, and so there's like there would be no point to even show rank at all. It would be better to show like, oh, you got like a silver time. That's more meaningful to people that are not really going for group times. So we would look into kind of doing some sort of like status indicator there. Right.
I just saw XV's cat like on the surf ramp in the background.
Just catching a wave, you know?
Amazing.
That's my main test subject for the learn section.
Oh, yes.
Amazing.
So hopefully that answers that. Yes, there's more work to be done. 092 will kind of start clearing up a bit of that. We want more information on the map selector as well.
Yeah.
Not just your current submitted, but like the world record time too and stuff like that. So you can very quickly see like how far off you are and stuff. Yeah, right. Like metals, that is true, Drawer Lab. The completing a map is more of the accomplishment, right? Like you beat this hard map. So like so it's like how to inch into doing, so there's like on one end of the spectrum, top 10, right? Top 10 times getting, really crazy optimized runs. The other end is just completing the map. So in between there, we want to add steps that make sense to like, medal times, right? So improve to get a gold, right? And then maybe we even have the medals like below groups too, or intertwined with groups too. So like if you get like a gold, that's automatically a group 5 time, right? Like that's like where we set the bar for gold or something. Right. So like that would be like the steps towards, like maybe getting a little more serious about how, like, because if you think about like the Portal time trial stuff, right? Like if you just casually play Portal and there's a time trial mode, and then you do it and like you get like the gold time there, and then you start thinking, is that really the fastest you could do? And then you go and look at like the fucking shit that speedrunners do. Right, the game gets blasted wide open, right? So like going and seeing that, and that's kind of the level we want to like guide players along, because we want eventually, right, like people to think about competing, right? Like otherwise there is no competition. People just go for like a gold time or mommy or natty or whatever time, right? And then they just stop, which is valid too, and that could be your playstyle. But it's like that kind of like seeds into your mind, like, ooh, there's a sense of progression here. And then like once you start hitting that gold to like platinum or whatever we call it, that would be where you start looking at, I'm in group 5. What's group 5? There's 5 total groups. I got to get to, top 10. And that could like start to like egg you on with like, get to group 4, get to group 3, or jump the groups, right? Go to group 2, like with a sick ass run. So stuff like that. It just kind of subconsciously like makes you want to speedrun. And like I want that to happen to a lot of players, because speedrunning's fun. So yeah, cool. So hopefully that kind of like explains, like maybe the medals will overlap with groups, but it'll guide you towards looking at like what it actually means to have a gold or above. Cool. Medal prestige. All right, yeah. So any other input for Ark's question? All right, cool. Thank you, Ark, for that question. We'll move on.
Moving on to our next question by Maximilian, asking, will you be able to clear or delete the entire map folder with map downloads from in-game?
No. Because it is such a, you can manually delete every map that you want. Like you can click on each one, and we will clear it on closing the game, like successfully closing the game. But we do not want people to accidentally delete every single map they have downloaded.
There's more bandwidth.
Yeah.
That is an immense bandwidth problem.
Yeah.
We don't want people to feel that like maps, you might as well just like delete them all the time or something like.
Right. We can allow you to sort by maps that you have less frequently played. So that can help you decide if you want to delete it. We could show map sizes somewhere in the info panel as well, to kind of help. And we can also have a sort by if we want to for that, so you can see the biggest maps that you have downloaded. A lot of them are going to be under like 50 megabytes, right? Like the average is going to be like probably 20 megabytes. And then even with like what we want to do with like Asset Atlas and stuff like that, right? So like a lot of maps are going to be tiny. So it's just really going to be like, which maps do you not want to play? And here's like how you can see them and then delete them. We don't want people to accidentally delete all of their maps. And then we also don't want people to just keep deleting, downloading. Because like, we want you to cache stuff locally if you can. You have the disk space for it. We don't want you to keep using bandwidth to download. Not that, it's like a massive problem, because we have to support everybody downloading the maps, but it's like we just like from a UX perspective, we don't want you to have to just delete maps and like clear them all out. So yeah, if you genuinely want to just nuke all of your maps, close the game and delete the maps folder. Right, that's the best way to do it. If you want to see which maps you've played less frequently, we'll have some sort of UI in the map selector for that. I'm trying to think of anything there. So yeah, that's hopefully that answers that. Because yeah, it's a lot. Deleting every single map and then having to re-download everything is not fun, especially if your internet's not the greatest. I mean, we'll be trying our best to kind of get the points of presence with our current solution. Cloudflare helps us out a ton. So even if you did download a map, it would be cached in Cloudflare's edge node, so then you would just re-download from the edge node and not our origin like bucket, right? So yeah, we do have that in place, which is nice, and that is technically free, but like we just don't want you to have to deal with so many downloads again and accidentally hitting that. So any other input for Maximilian's question here?
Like my key.
What is? Oh. Never mind.
Oh my god. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, scrub that, OCR bots. No.
I saw Xanax yummy.
Xanax yummy.
Just,
Yeah.
just duck out of the way so people can see it.
All right, we'll move on. Thank you, Maximilian, for that question.
So this is another defrag question by UltiFD asking, what are all the mechanics planned for the final version of defrag? Is jumping autohop? Does double jumping work like in Reflex Arena?
All right,
So
cool.
Lumia
Yeah.
wrote a lot on this because unfortunately he couldn't be here.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
So does anybody have that open? I have it open.
I have it.
I
Mhm.
can read if you want.
Yeah, you can read it.
Oh, this is a really good response.
Yeah. Well, Lumia says, the plan is to recreate Quake 3 Defrag's gameplay in Momentum mod as closely as possible, and then add new features. Some examples are adding new weapons, new physics modes, new mapping entities, etc. Since we were trying to have one-to-one gameplay, a lot of people have asked why even make Defrag and Momentum. And the answer that is Momentum Defrag will be different from Quake 3 Defrag. Even though the core gameplay is very, very close, the platform around the game is completely different. Momentum is far more integrated and customizable and has many technical upgrades over id Tech 3, old engine.
Very old.
Very old, yeah. Very good, but very old.
You can play at more than 125 FPS. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
And we absolutely do bring new and interesting things to the table, and it's those things that make it worth developing and hopefully worth playing.
Yeah.
And also something that Lumia has added that he's noticed that we've talked about quite a bit, but it's always good to hammer home that some defraggers also think that Momentum mod will be monetized or something. So worth reiterating yet again that we get no money from the game, completely free. We can't even get money even if we wanted to.
Right.
Just per like legal agreement with Valve.
Yep.
And yeah, it's easier to play both Momentum and Quake 3 Defrag. We aren't trying to steal players. Just provide something new.
Yeah, new and exciting. And that's always been the case. I'll reiterate that last point. Your platforms are still around. We're not aiming to kill them. We're not aiming to kill KSF. We're not aiming to kill Surf Heaven stuff. We aren't aiming to kill anything. We are a brand new, fresh slate platform for everybody that likes these modes. It's completely free. We don't make any money whatsoever from anything in the game. The cosmetic store is being designed in a way so that it's rewarding you for your effort that you're putting in, and not our pockets, right? You can support us. We have an open collective. It's in the, our bio and stuff. We link it everywhere, but you don't have to. You can completely mooch off of us. You could steal Momentum. No, I'm just okay. You can play Momentum mod completely for free, and that's how I want it to be. I don't want there to even be a barrier to entry for these modes. I'm not saying that Defrag or anything has a barrier to entry. It's just all of these modes are beautiful. That's like the main takeaway, right? Like is your existing platform, even if Momentum mod does not suit every single thing that your existing platform does, you still have it. You still have Quake 3. You still have the Defrag game, I guess, to go to. But we hope that you at least give us a shot. Just give us a try, right? See how you like it. It's free. Yeah. The most you're going to waste is time. And a little bit of bandwidth downloading maps, right, in the game. But that's it. It's just time, right? So
I feel like Momentum's kind of reached this point, right, where like the game in itself, like obviously to most people, like the modes are kind of the things that matter. But in terms of the stuff that we put most of our effort into, so much it's more so stuff like sort of infrastructure and game UI and things that like sort of wrap around the modes and just actually make them more approachable, more enjoyable, that bring in more players. Like bringing in a mode like Defrag like is a bunch of work, but it's like by doing that you just automatically get all the benefits of our platform. Like once Defrag's in, you have our timer and web infrastructure,
our lobbies,
right? And there's so many like benefits of it over Defrag, we think. Well, not benefits necessarily. Obviously, some people are going to prefer original Defrag,
right?
But our platform and infrastructure is really cool, and
built from the ground up.
So many people say that like they'd like to play Defrag more, but like don't want to play like Quake 3. I know it's easier now to get hold of Defrag and to play it for the first time, but I think a lot of people are saying they want to play Momentum. They'll play Defrag in Momentum just because they've never played wanted to like play Defrag itself.
It's
sure,
kind of where I am too.
Will play Momentum first and then end up back, might end up then switching from that back over to Defrag, right? If they really like Momentum but want to play Defrag for some reason, then they might do that. But also the jumping doesn't have autohop.
No,
because, to directly answer, and then no reflex stuff. It's It's Quake
3.
CPM and BQ3, and
currently,
I guess currently that's what we currently have.
We might have a Momentum specific physics mode, and that's what Lumia was talking about in his answer. We might have like a specific Momentum kind of fun like mixture mode thing, but that's kind of down the line. Right now we're supporting BQ3 and CPM. CPM by default.
The ways to like build off of Defrag, right, isn't to go make a whole new mode similar to Defrag, but like that for some reason like doesn't have a bunch of existing mechanics like some games like DVT does without like snap zones and whatever, where like you're just losing a lot of the complexity there. We know that the base Defrag, the stuff that people have been playing for like a decade or like 2 decades or whatever, like has like the level of skill and depth that like make people want to play it. For us, it's just we now put it in just a much nicer container and better engine and
or more modern. I mean, some people don't like Source, right? But it's ideally going to feel really good in the end, right? Like that's what we're going for. We want a mode that's enjoyable to play, even if it's not the exact way IdTech 3, right, or IdTech works, because we're not frame based anymore, right? We're tick based, and so there's caveats to it. But
I think anyone that is sort of like skeptical of Momentum stuff from the Defrag community, like, just pay attention like how our development process has gone so far. I think we have really been doing a good job at listening to people and adding stuff that people care most about, and we kept snap zone stuff like that. I don't know. I think like if you look at that, I think people will be really impressed by like the approach we've taken with it. So,
Cool. Was there any other input for this question? Just need CGaz. Awesome. Yes, Lumia is awesome. CGaz is coming. Peenscreaker is also
awesome.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very awesome.
And we did bring on an experienced Defrag person and programmer, right? Peenscreaker.
Yeah.
Because we care about
we should talk about the people who joined, eh?
Yeah.
I think we did briefly, But
Did we?
Briefly.
At the beginning?
Briefly. Yeah.
God, it was so long ago. It's
Yeah.
been a long time.
But we have brought on
Long-
Peenskrieger.
Q&A.
Yeah. And yeah, they've been doing excellent work with the UI. CGaz, which is Camping Gaz, the user that created
I
this.
think that's his HUD.
Uh,
Calling it
yeah. It's a
CGaz
HUD.
also snaps and
Yeah.
W indicator, and it's if you see the settings for it, we'll show it off soon, even though the settings don't fully work yet.
Oh, yeah.
Very
Yeah.
soon. But it's very customizable. Peenskrieger
Yes.
has been basically like the moment he started working with us, like I got the impression that he like eventually we'd have to ask if he wanted to join the team because he's just been awesome to work with. He's been
Yeah.
actually just really, really
Nice
great.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And other than the Defrag community constantly threatening to kill Snapman, they've been very nice, very accommodating of adding Defrag to the game. So, and then so just one last point there is about the platform, right? People are going to get into Momentum from Surf and Bunny Hop and stuff and see things like Defrag. That is a much harder sell for if your game is just Defrag, right? So I just want to put that out there. Like the idea of our scope, right, expanding in all of this is we are building this platform, right, that expands to all these modes, but it's allowing people that are all otherwise interested in other modes to check it out and learn it and get good at it. Like I think Ninja Cookie's never done Defrag before, and they're already making like a map and stuff for it.
Yep.
Just awesome stuff all around. But yeah, thank you, Ulti, for these questions. Hopefully that answers it. We'll move on.
Our next question, I think some of this was getting sparked earlier in the chat, asking when's the turtle merch dropping. But FadedFrank wants to know when's the Momentum mod merch coming to fruition.
Closer to 1.0.
Yes, closer to 1.0. I'd like to get
so early.
Yeah, I'd like to find. I know Enjoy. And I believe Enjoy in our community has direct ties that could get us a lot of really a lot of pretty good merch there. And then there's I'd like to evaluate clothing. I want a Momentum Mod t-shirt. I want a Momentum Mod team, and I want to get everybody on the team everyone on the team t-shirts.
But you already have
Bodies.
a business card.
Oh yes, and business cards. So yeah, I could and then it's also genuinely asking what kind of merch people would want to see. 3D prints was another one. I believe Barbie brought up the idea of a 3D printed conch or things like that. Oh no, she made one. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Put LEDs in it and it lights up when you press the button.
Press the button. So stuff like that would be so much fun to have as merch and stuff. Yeah. So probably around 1.0 we'll start looking into I want to get clothing for sure cemented with a good manufacturer or producer, I guess. And then once that's in place, we'll figure it out. Yeah, but that's just clothing. But then we'll branch. We'll try to look into things like mouse pads. Right, you're gonna need a Momentum Mod 48-inch enormous mouse pad for your strafes that you're gonna be doing for B-Hop. So, yeah, real life sticky bomb. Oh my god, and it blows up when you detonate it. I'd use it. Yeah.
Real life explosive.
You need to have
We're gonna be the first game to send. No, we shouldn't even joke about that.
Tattoo like Jaguar.
Ooh, yeah. Tats, right? Tattoo designs. But snap a real life snap hat. Oh my god.
With some fucking stuff coming out of the hole.
Just little pieces of tape and cardboard. Yeah. Colored.
Momentum Mod branded wrist brace for when we all get ours.
When our yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So just a lot of ideas there. Mousepad, yeah. So we'll have to see suppliers and see what's up with that. We want quality merch, and I'd love for the profits to go to the designer, right? So if we do a 3D printed conch, I'd love for Barbie to get to get not the toy from Mattel, but a person named Barbie in our community, to get the profits there. So, or a lot of the profits there. So that's kind of how I want the merch store to go. We'll see though. We'll see how it works or what platform believes in that. Almost like an open collective for merch or something. Anyway, yeah, a mouse pad would be sick. I would want one too.
Stickers would be nice too.
Oh yes, and that's where Enjoy would.
Throw it on your car.
Mm-hmm.
Slap tag them all
bumper
over.
stickers.
What the hell is that? Yeah.
People will be like, you can have like you can have Snapman bumper sticker. Anyway, so very close to 1.0. We will try to launch a little merch store, probably with limited selection, and we'll just be adding stuff over time as we get it. So, any other inputs for this? All right, cool. Thank you, FadedFrank, for that question. We'll move on to the next one.
The next question's pretty loaded. I had to like lower the font because.
Oh yeah.
But resistance is futile. Wants to know: will portals have a built-in way to distinguish gravity changes when going through them, or will it be down to the mapper making it clear in some kind of fashion? Also, will portals replace all black box teleports in maps, particularly in rocket jump and/or sticky jump maps, when they're ported over to Momentum?
No, I don't think we're planning on changing
Yeah.
portals.
Maybe
well,
some
it's up to the
cases
mapper.
might be easy,
Update-
so nice.
Yeah, it's up to the mappers. I mean,
Mhm.
someone has already done it for like jump 12, I think.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, it's completely up to the mappers if they
Yeah.
want to add that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say for the portals as well, would be up to the mappers. I don't think we. Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, it would have to be making portals intuitive
Yeah.
in terms of how they work. That's definitely a mapper. There's only so
Yeah.
unless we just integrate some type of like 3D gizmo to which ways
I mean, we
X, Y, and
could.
Z.
I would actually. I was gonna talk about that. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be great to have a little boolean on it. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how good that would look, or
It would just be an arrow, basically showing the normal of the portal, basically. So
Mox would love that.
like the portal like plane, right? You put a like flat trigger down, and then it would draw like an arrow pointing where you would be. So when you're looking at it, you see through the portal the arrow of where your view is going to be oriented. So yeah. That would be really nice because it's not very clear sometimes. Sometimes it flips you upside down, which will be fun to figure out. Like we'll probably have to color the arrow with like different like what's up and what's down, right? We'll see. But yeah,
I would imagine it's I guess it's a little niche still.
Mm-hmm.
It's like most maps don't use it.
Right.
But yeah, you should still, as a mapper, I would say, have some type of way of orienting spatially through your environment. What way is up and down?
Right.
If it's not just like a door in between levels.
I quite like that it can be.
You wouldn't really need that.
Yeah, you won't really
The
need
black
it for
box.
simple.
The black box, we wouldn't deal with it. Like a lot of maps just have a black box standing. You don't. Portals need to be like a hole in the wall, and that would teleports and stuff.
Or the ground, yeah.
It's also the type of like the idea of you're in a room and you hit the black box, you know.
Yeah.
That's just a thing in Jump Valley.
Yeah, it's up to the mapper's kind of idea of what the
Discretion.
map should be.
Yeah.
I would add it in mind, but
So hopefully that answers that. It could be up to the mapper. We could add some sort of gizmo arrow thing that sort of helps. Yeah, sort of helps with how you're going to be orienting through the portal. But ideally, the map design is clear enough in a way that, like, oh, this isn't crunching my spine into a somersault. This is, or if it is, it's clear enough. And then, it is up to the mapper to replace teleports, but it should ideally be like done before the map is added and not retroactively. So we won't automatically be doing that. We're going to try to respect the mapper's wishes as much as possible, maybe replacing some entities with ours for like teleports and stuff, just so that the player properly stops more efficiently and stuff like that. But
I feel like in a couple cases, like B-Hub Easy, like it is so nice having the portals that maybe we should do it.
Yeah, right? Maybe.
Yeah. I think
some of those really old maps that are quite
specifically
like
telehops, I think, are where they come in handy. But most maps don't do that all that much.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
Oh god. Oh god, the goblin strats.
But yeah, so hopefully that answers that resistance. Was there any other input for this? Cool. All right, we'll move on. Thank you for that question.
Our next question by Klowwd asking, what is the secret command to enable Team Fortress 2's bumper car game mode?
You have to type quit in console and then hit enter.
Quit smoking. Yeah.
And then
quit. I have to type quit smoking in quotes. In the God damn it.
Do we still have cam ortho? Did we rip that out?
No, it's in, and you can toggle it back off. We fixed it.
You can toggle it though.
Yeah, you can toggle it back off. It's cam underscore ortho.
Such a noob trap command.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lovely. Unbindle. Yeah.
Unbindle.
Unbindle. I love that one too.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's an April Fool's. Who knows?
Why did Valve?
That'd be really fun.
Why did they put time into that?
Yeah. I don't know. They just wanted it's for Halloween update, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's like
but it's like a weird amount of work for that.
So much money.
Yeah.
Probably more work doing the VGUI than it is making the bumper car.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, VGUI was terrible. But yeah. So hopefully that answers that, Klowwd. Thank you for that question. We'll move on. I think this is the last one before we have to go to some of the asked ones there.
Yes, this is the last one that we have, and it's a pretty valid question. I like the question getting asked here by Plar, who wants to know, can we get everyone's Steam nickname, or IGN, I should say, who has Momentum Playtest and credits after finishing the campaign?
I mean,
no.
External QA?
Yeah.
QA we can do, right?
But not playtest.
Oh. Yes. We can't track who has it. I mean, it's also just it's more fair for the people that have been around and didn't leave our fucking Discord server.
Yeah.
I
think on that note of if you've left the Discord server, we can't really do much to get your name right. We have the whole list of all the people with the external QA role. There are some people who have genuinely just got bored of Momentum and left the Discord and come on, you're not getting in the credits. If you're making it that hard for us to put you in the credits by leaving the server of the game that we gave you a key to,
I think one of the first people that won the key giveaways is now a deleted Discord account.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Right. No. I don't even know. Yeah.
So impractical.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've been shotgunning keys in our chat. We don't know who's getting it in this chat. Things like that. We don't know who. Steam never tells us who. Even if it's a key, we can disable a key. We can revert key access using just the key, but we never know who got it. Steam knows, but we don't. And we can never tell. So not to everyone who has Momentum Playtest, but maybe to everyone that has external QA.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an inherent maybe we can also go through GitHub. People that have opened issues, that's pretty helpful with their bugs instead of just saying it in Discord and then leaving. So
there's also just people that created accounts on the website, I guess, or linked their account.
Yeah, we want to give people that have that play tested a cosmetic or something. I think that would be cool. That's what we talked about earlier, the stream with the limited. We could do that, right? But yeah, the quantity of that. When it comes to credits, we want to credit people by name of like, you know, they tested, right? So external QA, ideally, and then just looking at GitHub, looking at just all of our different sources that we have for names, just trying to put all the names in.
We should be able to actually add that, because I think only you can add that right now. And I mean, if someone like gets the playtest, comes to the Discord and actually makes like a well thought out like bug report or something.
Yeah.
Or I think Resistance came in, and I don't know if he has external QA, but he was like doing issues about like playtests and stuff. So yeah, we should probably be more active in giving people external QA if they're actually like, you know, helping out a lot.
Yeah. And then
been doing that.
External QA stands for external quality assurance. And yeah, it's so external quality assurance was kind of the role that we gave people we gave keys to. But now with a playtest that's randomly assigning to all of your friends, we kind of can't really determine all of the people who have it. We could automatically have the game like submit something to the site. There is, you know, if you do a run on the playtest, which we are about to wipe. So anyway, I mean, yeah, it's just for the most part, we want to give credit to where people have genuinely helped us out. And then try our best to get more and more names. The credits aren't final either. We could always update the credits in a future game patch.
Credits are very easy for us to update now because I did a thing. We've got the spreadsheet now.
Yeah.
It actually gets auto moved into the game and the UI generated via that spreadsheet.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's... We'll see kind of like how the credits are going to go there. And when it comes to items, yeah, we can grant you guys an item. That's fine. Like all 13,000 or whatever, or 20,000. Because, you know, if people continue to play the game, then you can show off to people that didn't check us out, you know, like separating the OGs from the newbies that come in. We can do that. It's just a cosmetic. Who cares, right? But yeah, just kidding. Like cosmetics can be pretty valuable. They're sentimental, right? They have value. It's something that you've done for the game, and it's something that has worth because it'll be rare in terms of like not being nothing, right? Yeah. So hopefully that answers that. Was there any other input for this question? Okay, so we had a couple of asked questions in chat that we wanted to circle back on. Definitely try to get questions asked in our Discord, !Discord, for the server. Please, please, please try to get these in our server because this allows us to do a lot of pre-planning and show off some stuff. Though, I mean, there's some limitations to that. We don't want to spoil things too. But yeah, try to get asked. We do them every month, right? We're doing these every month, so try to get questions in there.
Got a whole channel dedicated to it.
Oh yes, Q&A live. Cool. Okay, so I guess we'll move back up the list here. So
I think there's two that we have in here that we're about to go over, right?
Invoice team, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So our first one by Plar Bhop asking, will there be map and zone sharing through the lobby in the future?
It's probably something that you're going to have to opt in. We don't want to basically create malware spreading.
Yeah.
It is extremely scary to trust some random person giving you files on your computer to then execute.
Guarantees someone will try and use that maliciously on the
Yes.
internet. It's just how the internet works.
Yep. So
have security in place for that.
Yeah. So we'll be doing our best to make sure that we do a lot of hardening on our BSP loading and things like that. You know, we don't execute a BSP, we just like parse it, right? We don't. So yeah, there's definitely security risks involved with that, but why not, right? Like why not allow it? So yeah, I mean we could download files from each other. I mean, you already can request save logs, though we don't have the UI for that in the Panorama build. And that's kind of a similar function where you like directly trade stuff. But yeah, maps, zones, crosshair, HUD, being able to just share that kind of stuff with each other. Yeah, absolutely.
So our next question is Jorlap asking, is FiCool working with you on the Hammer++ compatible version? If so, maybe you can add a Q&A or F1 guide that gives info on mapping parts.
Stay tuned. That's all I'll say in regards to that. We would love to work with FiCool on getting a Chaos compatible Hammer++. So stay tuned. Yeah. That's all I'll say for that. And then I guess if so, if yes, if that turns out positive, yeah, we would love to. The work that's been taking place right now in our Hammer is that we are trying to convert over to Qt, which is a different. It's a nice sounding name for a desktop GUI library, and it's cross-platform. So Linux map making is something we want to do. So we're working towards Linux map making. We want to get over to a Linux compatible Hammer, which uses Qt, and then we would love to work with FiCool on the collaboration of getting that into Hammer++ and potentially getting Hammer++ features into our Hammer. So that is, yeah, where we're currently at with that. So we will be reaching out and seeing what they think about that. But stay tuned. So hopefully, I mean, you know, either way, we're going to have a Linux Hammer, but it'd be awesome if we can get, you know, Hammer++ integrated, and maybe the cooperation there leads to a Linux Hammer++, right? For all the other games as well. So yeah, we'll see. All right.
We play Defrag now.
We can, yeah. I gotta get, do I have to get, yeah, let me get the CGaz, but yeah, cool. Okay, I think that's it for the questions. We had another one that popped up really recently. I'm just gonna bring that up as well. Jaoo asked, thoughts on unlocking merch with an in-game achievement. So that's actually pretty interesting. Like our top runners or something, giving them merch or something. That would actually be kind of cool. Now, with the rank, you're not permanently in that rank, right? Somebody can dethrone you. But I think that'd be really nice if we ended up doing things like, you know, showcases or for like mappers and stuff. Doing things like merch for like mappers that are creating quality maps. I think that would be pretty cool too, like rewarding our content creators, right? And then runners, I mean, it'd be a little harder for runners because we want to see how we want to do it, but like the best concers or something could get like a 3D printed conch or something. That'd be cool. So not a bad idea. The problem becomes, how pricey is that going to get? Like, how many do we do, right? So do we do like 50 of each thing? Because like just out of goodwill, because it comes out of our pockets, right? Like, yeah, we can't really make profit off of, well, I guess merch we can make profit off of, but yeah, so we'll see. I guess if we get enough profit in merch, we could do something like that. Yeah, but that would be cool.
Merch. When I think of merch is like a good thing for like tournaments or live events. People who attended. It's like when E3 comes around, every little person always brings in merch, and that's what you get to take away. It's sentimental. It's something that you get to wear, something you get to have that shows you were here at this one place in time.
We'll do MomCon merch.
MomCon. God, Michelin is going to have a fucking field day with us. Just have Michelin Man. I mean, Momentum Man. I'll bring the ball pit.
I mean,
all right.
You're spoiling the surprise.
Mom releases on Mother.
No, the ball pit's not the surprise. It's what's in it. So yeah, any other last minute questions, or should we set up? Should I go defrag? All right.
Sorry.
Defrag.
All right. Whoa. Let me get. So
I get to see you being equally confused with defrag.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be fun. I think CGaz is gonna be my top secret thing that I need to do here. So yeah, hold on. I need to. Hopefully this doesn't capture. I don't think it will.
Defrag showcase. You got that?
Yeah. Okay, we're good. It's not capturing. Did anybody redeem please actually play Conk? I don't know if that was actually redeemed.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna use my dev version.
It's defrag this week, month, I think. Like, this is.
Oh yeah.
My God, I'm 100 bits away.
I love.
Please actually play Conk.
I've got 20k. I've got 21.5k.
Well, you stream.
I know, right? I have sub and I stream, so I'm in chat when.
Wait, why is it rebuilding? What? Okay, I guess it needs to rebuild. That's not good. Okay. Well, hopefully I don't drop any frames. Will DX9 still be supported? No.
Yeah.
We are moving towards a DX11 only build. It allows us to be more flexible and basically more efficient with the rendering backend. For example, like pre-caching, for example, or sorry, I said that twice. For example, pre-caching can be done on any thread on DX11. DX9, you have to do it all on the main thread, which means a lot of map loading and shit can be parallelized, like pre-caching all of the materials and stuff. That's just one example. We can do things like asynchronous cube map generation on DX11.
That's nice.
And that's something that we're really excited about. Why is it recompiling so much? Oh my God, this is just annoying. Well, I thought. Well, I was gonna be on the latest code. You rebased on top of latest master, right?
Yeah.
So there's gonna be like HUD elements and stuff that, or there might be HUD elements and stuff. Anyway, yeah. Let me get on green here. Yeah.
You should just need. Yeah. If you just want to show off the defrag stuff, then.
Yeah.
So difference between DX11 and DX9. DX7 is a lot newer. Like DX9 is really old.
DX9 is like 2005.
2005? I thought it was older than that, but okay. Like,
no, DX8's pretty old, and that's like no DX6. Okay, I think maybe DX6.
DX11 came out in 2008, I believe, and most hardware remains. And by the time 1.0 is out, I'm sure you'll need to be on DX11 to play like the
you will
version when. Yeah.
DX11
came out in like 2008, so basically any hardware since around then does support it. Like even if you're on some like crappy integrated GPU, like I think DX11 still supported on those back until like a long ass time. Like it's at this point in 2022, it's kind of not reasonable to ask developers to continue maintaining DX9 compatibility. Like it's
holy shit. It was 2002. Okay, I was close. Yeah, it's so yeah, mainly it is just an old like if you are on Windows XP, which you should not be, that is why you support DX9.
Right.
So yeah, everything else supports DX11. And so yeah, it is a bit of an ask to be on somewhat recent like GTX 400 and up. But we're hoping that people are around there. I think there's even cards that are lower than that support it still, or maybe I don't know. We have somebody in our Discord just going through that, so we got that enough, being tested there.
You can run Momentum on some shitty cards.
Yeah. So I want the Defrag HUD, right? Or which
Showcase.
Defrag Showcase.
Because the Convar stuff isn't fully hooked up yet. It will be, I think, once the Steam pushes out. Payne just needs to hook that up, and then they don't even need to do a new build for that. It should be.
I don't see it. Oh, I might need to fetch. Hold on, let me fetch really quick. Good old development stream. Here you go. This is the limited amount of development. I'm recompiling the game, pulling. There we go. There it is. Defrag Showcase. Okay. Why is it recompiling though? That's we're gonna have to investigate that. A lot of our compile stuff has just been like inconsistent. Like yesterday when I was doing all the Sentry stuff, client Panorama kept rebuilding, or not rebuilding, but like copying. So I don't know what's happening. I think I might just need to clear out my and reclone or something. Might have some local files. I've been trying to figure it out. We do a lot of different changes that get merged in. There could very easily be something that causes a breakage, and then we just have to go back and fix it retroactively. But yeah, it is. Wow, it is compiling all 127 again. Why? I thought I compiled this. Sorry about this wait, guys. We're getting Defrag hot and ready for you. I do have the where is it? Oh yeah, showcase right there.
120 every project?
Yeah. And I did this right before the stream. That's why we were waiting a little bit too. Whatever.
What should we talk about in the meantime?
Convar enablers work without a convar?
That's.
Or is that gonna crash?
Convars we're gonna add soon. No, it works fine for me.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm playing it right
Nice.
now.
Nice.
I did just find a bug with it, which I'm gonna report in Trikz.
Cool. All right. So, almost done. It's almost there. At least I'm on the right green branch. I hit Control F5. I don't know why. I did rebuild solution. Maybe Visual Studio 2022 is just like smart like that. It just knows that you like Microsoft has like advanced Cortana AI that scans all of your projects and just rebuilds everything if it needs to. No more developer like fumbling around. No more productivity. We don't need that in here.
No more productivity.
Yeah. It's a compiling shader. So if his camera's off,
Dead.
oh no, the cat got to him. That's just his cat parked in front of the camera. We have way too many projects. This is so much. It's recompiling. Holy shit.
Kind of spaghetti dependencies.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do any of this. It's great.
Yeah.
Like,
it's. I mean, when you get the
Sitting
whole
over there
engine,
in
it's
JavaScript land.
yeah. You have to deal with exception windows popping up. We have to deal with 8-minute compile times, even though I didn't fucking touch anything. I just rebooted Visual Studio. Oh, it updated. That's why. Visual Studio updated. It did update. And then it's like, oh, this is a new tool chain. You're recompiling with the exact same MSVC version? Let's do it. Like, fucking great. Thanks, Microsoft. Like, we are currently also in progress of porting over to CMake, which is a new, it's kind of like this,
CMake is really new.
yeah, it's this new finagled thing. No, it's a project structure, and we're going to switch over to Clang CL, which allows Linux to be able to compile the game for us, which is very nice for our continuous integration and deployment that we have, because we have a lot of hardware that could be Linux. Windows Server is very fun to deal with. Very, very fun.
Have you used Windows Server?
You have to use Windows Server if you're doing a headless Windows. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can probably do, at least on the machines I did. Okay. Is it running? Yes, I think so. Boot it up. Let's see.
Bachmack is now playing. What?
It's taking a bit. I'm just gonna make sure I can get into a map. What was the enabler CFAR again?
No, it should be on. It will be on all the time.
Okay. Very nice.
Join my lobby and join the map I'm on.
Okay.
My throat.
All right, cool. So let me go ahead and close that, and close this, and close that, and close, and go over to Gameplay Plus Webcams. Ah, wait, is the game not? No, there it is. Hey, we did it. And we got all of the, oh wait, no. Sorry, we got, There we go.
Bray
And
and
then
False.
Bray and False. And then we have XB Man.
I'm so sad.
We can turn off Zofa's because his is hiding, so that works. Okay, cool. Works out. Tooltips need a unique ID so that they can be shown / hidden properly. Okay, sick.
Wait,
So
what is that?
there's some fun tooltip stuff in the main menu. Anyway, yeah, we'll be fixing this stuff. And then let me go ahead and close.
What one is it? R7 Tech.
R7. Hold on. Oh. R7 Tech. Okay.
R7 Tech.
All right.
Midway
Cool.
down. And then join my
So I guess, yeah. Get in here. Oh, P capture. Oh yeah, that's actually a bug with the spectate stuff.
Why are, like, all defrag maps tier 1?
Because Max
Generally,
just
you
been
can
porting.
walk
Yeah.
Max some
just
of the
porting
damage
easy.
boost maps like considerably harder.
Phi mode. Momentum movement API .get df physics mode is not a function.
Oh, that got changed.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're on. Oh.
Yeah, if you hardcode it to 1,
Okay.
because
Let me quickly fix that. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be on. I guess yeah, if you're on latest red, then
Yeah. Because we're on latest green. There's a lot of changes that, yeah. Okay.
well, this is like an older version of.
yeah,
the
this is red.
defrag code.
We moved that to
Oh, shit.
defrag.
Okay. Is that the only one, though?
You can change it to just defrag.
Hmm.
Oh man, something about these buffer jumps just breaks my brain.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Fuck, why don't you just play on the Steam build and like just copy some of the files from Greenhouse?
That's boring. Just
Hey,
kidding.
this is
Okay.
boring.
No, it's not boring. Get last move data. Is that still? That's still there. So the only thing is get DF physics mode that changed,
Yeah, that's
right?
the only one.
Okay. There's only one
Thanks,
usage of
NPC,
it.
Sam.
Yeah, there's only one usage of it.
Yeah, we have fun developing it. It's just loads
Okay.
of work.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So now, continue. Can I just ignore that and then like F8? Or no, hold on. Is it F8? No, I don't even know if F8 is gonna work. Oh, wait, hold on.
F8 never works.
It doesn't work in the HUD.
Yeah.
Dang it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Hold on. Shit. It's either 20 minutes of rebasing at the beginning of the stream or 20 minutes of Yep.
Just gotta do it like 2 days before.
Yeah.
I said that 2 days before.
No, I mean, to be fair, we only have CGaz to show off. So, and it's just we were trying to get it in by Friday, but it was just a matter of like timing wise, like just didn't happen. So it's coming out. I mean, it's not going to be this buggy. We're going to hook up this branch
This should
properly.
be the... Once the next Steam push comes out, then Peen just has to work on it for a little bit. I've reviewed its stuff today, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
So it basically just needs one more review, and then we can push.
Cool.
Just do like a green only push, right?
Well, we wanna hook it up in the branch too. So I'd like to push red and then just very quickly push green after we merge it. So okay, so I think we're okay now. I think we're okay. Let's go to defrag again. I have R7 Tech.
Who's the biggest mouse pad?
Who's the?
Mine is about a Mesa wide, I think.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not a
Mine's
contender
pretty
for
long.
biggest mouse pad.
I don't use a crazy low sense.
Okay, hold on. I gotta like.
My sensitivity is way too high.
Okay, I think this is it. Is this it? I think we did
Yeah,
it.
try moving. Okay, nice.
All right.
Yeah, that's it. So I've given
Very
that might
nice.
be slightly outdated with a couple things. So that's CGaz and snaps and nothing else. So it doesn't have the W indicator and the crazy arrows. I turned those off for you.
Yeah.
So if you want, you can show off like the settings we're gonna have for it. It's just they're not hooked up yet.
Okay. So in the settings here, inside of interface, you'll be able. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's gameplay. That's right. Defrag. So you'll be able to completely customize every single aspect of this HUD So
There's
yeah,
like basically everything is
everything.
CGaz. Like we basically
Yeah.
don't have a style sheet because it's
W
all
indicator,
customizable. It's really funny.
Yeah.
These will be hooked up really soon.
Yes. But these are just like base. Oh god. Okay, let's try this out. Somebody's fucking rocket jumping. Get out of here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I suck at defrag, but this will also show in specs. So
The snaps.
For the most part.
No,
the snaps don't.
CGaz doesn't. And I don't.
Oh really?
It's
Okay.
just something not getting networked, I guess, but it's.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true because it's in, if it's in the player at all, then yeah, it would be not networked because it needs to be, we would need to treat ghosts as players, which is something that we want to try to do. Whoa, what is that name? Is that Lumia? Wait, what the fuck?
Ew.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, that's Mr. Burgers.
Oh, okay,
That's my
okay.
Steam name.
Yeah, gotcha. So that's what that looks like. That's funny. But yeah, this is the kind of shit that we want to break, right? Like we want nameplates and stuff like to break so that we.
Quite a bit of stuff is styled to not break with that stuff. In that, like, I did spend like a bit where like I just had that like.
Well, I did
there's some
that. So
character in
gonna break?
Arabic that's like incredibly long.
Yeah.
You can just spam that. Well, I've tested some of the UI with that, but I guess the HUD in world bit, the.
Yeah, because I did that. And you haven't touched it, I don't think.
Yeah.
So yeah, this if you've played Bunny Hop, this probably looks a lot like a strafe trainer to you, and that is exactly basically what it is. It's Defrag's strafe trainer, and it's.
You want to turn snaps off.
Yeah. Oh wait, do I do it through the settings?
It's
okay.
Yeah, no. It's mom bhop play block sound.
Oh, okay.
And then it needs a reload. I actually just reported that bug to Kingsbury.
Okay. Reload the map.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do I even use that mouse pad? What do you mean? It's a perfectly good one.
So CGaz is like basically like the minimum thing, and this is going to be our default.
Yeah.
I think will just be CGaz.
Yeah. Do we know if we're gonna have it take up the whole screen? Do we want it to do that?
Yeah, it needs to.
Okay.
Pretty much. Like otherwise, you're just not. You need to.
You can change the FOV of it.
Yeah.
You will be able to. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good old
It's like a
asserts.
FOV override.
I have a small mouse pad, but my sensitivity is 3.14.
Yeah.
I cannot play this. I'm so bad at defrag.
Yeah, I'm terrible.
Yeah.
I'm terrible, but that's why we're adding it. I'd love to get better at all these modes that we're supporting. Yeah, the idea is. The idea behind it, though, is that these rectangles, the blue rectangle at least, is where you want to be aiming to like gain speed. You can notice on my speedometer, it's also turning more and more blue as I do that. And it's kind of like focused on like W and A and W and D. So it's very forward focused. And then also because it's CPMA, you can hold A and D to like turn individually there like that. But you want to be holding W because it's like you're strafing through the air by doing that, right? So, but yeah, I am no good at defrag. I suck, but I plan to get better over time. Well, I think I did a run before. I do have a submitted run, but ooh, sub 1. Oh wait, okay, barely sub 1. Let's go.
Oh,
but yeah, gotta strafe more on this map. Okay, so maybe let's not do this map. Let's try another one. What's the one I've been doing? Oh, nude. Let's set a better PB on nude Charon now that I have cheater HUD. I mean, CGaz.
Is it like actually a lot easier with that HUD?
It feels easier, but you still have to know where to go. That's something that I believe was talked about. I think that's what was talked about a lot. Is oh, do I not have my start mark?
What do you mean? You just stare at the HUD and then you win.
Yeah, exactly. All visualization tools are like that. They perform for you. Damn.
Silent Kong.
Damn. Okay, hold on. Gotta get like my line going here.
And wait till we get rid of that fucking gun.
The reset location is in the wall, mainly because of the zone. So the way that we do zone teleporting is we start at the top of it and trace downwards in the middle and find standable ground. But because the zone is in the ceiling, you get teleported right there. So
set a start zone.
you have to set a start mark. So you just set one with N, or you can open the what is it? Save states menu and create one. But yeah, that it shouldn't have been up there. Like it doesn't need to be that tall. It can go to like this height right here. When we rezone the map, it'll be much better that way.
These are other players, yeah. So our multiplayer's
Yes.
really good. Like it's basically really cheap multiplayer in that you don't need a centralized server. Because we use Steam lobbies to do set up like peer-to-peer routes or whatever. That works internally. Meaning that it's incredibly easy to just set up a lobby and then like any number of people can join, or the max is 250, though we've not tested it with that many. And so this is just yeah. How many people are it? There's 14 people on this map right now.
Yeah.
I'll increase the player count in case any more people want to join.
Yep.
I'm the top ranked of all my friends on this map.
Oh, damn it. So yeah, just to reiterate, the multiplayer is a layer on top of the game. So if I open this tab, there can be some people not playing this map, but I guess we're huddling together right now. But yeah, there can be people on any map, and you can still chat with each other, right? And so the idea there is that we have like the networking is more optional, right? And because we're not shooting each other, right? We're not doing any of the team-based team play or anything like that. We don't have to synchronize the ticks that we're on. So everybody in this lobby technically has 0 ping to each other, mainly because we're just networking the packets as we send them.
No, it's not to each other. They have ping to each other, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, there is going to be...
They have 0 ping.
Right, like their game.
Everyone is essentially playing single player.
Yeah,
right?
the
like,
ping doesn't affect, yeah.
You don't. There's not another server somewhere that you're telling your movements to.
Yeah.
Is then confirming those movements, and you're only moving fully when you get that confirmation back, like regular multiplayer and source.
If you think about it, it's negative ping.
It isn't.
So it is
really stoned.
Yeah. Damn it. You do have to manual jump in this mode, mainly because when you hold jump in the air, you actually accelerate less. It's part of the game's design in Quake. And so replicating Quake movement, right?
Well, but having that plus like snap zone is one of those things we love about Defrag.
Yeah.
So, like that means these maps are really short as well, right? So runs get very, very optimized. So if you want to actually compete for top times, you need to care about like snap zones, for instance, and like really minute stuff to do with your acceleration, which is why. Well, one of the reasons Defrag is so cool and so like rich in its movement.
Somebody's doing a-hop, sliding in place there. Jesus, it's great.
I want to try an a-hop now.
Right?
These maps are really fun in a-hop.
So yeah, just to show like how easy it would be to play this map in a-hop, you can right click and start a map in a specific mode, and then you can reload it.
Really hard.
But also because of the way we do networking, multiplayer still works, right? So someone is fucking rocket jumping now, and I'm playing it in a-hop, and we're still all in the same lobby.
Yeah. Which
is for Defrag especially nice because it means VQ3 and CPM players can be on the same lobby together.
On the same lobby, yeah.
Shout out to IR.
Yeah.
We're doing that.
Yeah. So I'll go back to Defrag, but yeah, you could play it in a-hop as well. But yeah, I'm feeling more Defrag right now. Plus I have CGaz on my screen, so it's gonna be really awkward doing a-hop with that. Oh no, it crashed. Shit. Classic.
Yeah, there's similar modes.
Once we get Sentry up and running, that crash will submit, and we can figure out why the fuck it just happened. So it's the really nice thing.
What a crash!
Yeah,
But yeah,
It's gonna take the longest at this rate. Like no one's doing it.
I'll get back in here, show off a little more of the CGaz and my shit defragging, and then we'll go and raid, because it is, so we're 12 minutes over, so
we gotta show off the defrag, like, come on.
Yeah, gotta play defrag from crazy AI, just keeps joining our streams and telling us to, so we're doing it.
Game mode am I in? Oh, I think if you start in a...
Oh, man. So yeah, you can see I'm in the middle of a run and I just joined the lobby. Like, that's how obscene our networking can get, right? And now there's a bunch of gamers here just going at it. Look at them go. Oh, yeah. These A-hoppers.
Fucking SMG model.
It's so great. You get one for your knees as well. We will be replacing it very soon. We have False's model.
18 people in this lobby. We have 18 people on one map.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
We have not stress tested our multiplayer at all.
Yeah,
so that's going to be something that's going to be really fun. 013 kind of.
We let you configure what mesh you are currently, so in the future we've actually got like player models that we'll be adding quite soon. Hopefully, we just need a C model system done.
So yeah, inside of our settings, you can completely change your model here. Also, we need to fix this model panel to not be garbage. Why is it rotating like that? Anyway, yeah, you can change your color. I'm an orange diamond. You know, I can go even lighter orange if I wanted to. But yeah, all this just networks over to people.
But I think we'll be getting rid of a bunch of this, right? When we have the proper player models.
Yep, proper player models with also the customization tab. So basically the store and inventory tabs. No. Fuck. Also, developer, get out of here. Don't need that spam on my screen. You got to no-clip back in, Aaron, and create a start mark.
Why did I start typing that when I could just say it?
Damn. Yeah, I really got to be better at correcting where I'm going.
Hey, Al.
Crazy AI, he's here. What's up, Al?
Play D.
Play D.
Wait.
Defusal?
D. What's
Go back
D?
to C-Strike. Play D's nuts.
Is it Al or is it AI?
No, it's Al. People are just
waiting for that.
Crazy. Yeah. Oh my god! I actually saw earlier in the key document.
Yeah.
Where we mark who we gave keys to.
Yeah.
Super secret document. It's actually marked as crazy AI. I don't know who gave him the key, but whoever did it.
That must have been me. If it was, yeah, because I only recently opened it up to the other team members. So.
Yeah.
But honestly, I should have opened it up a long time ago because there's really no reason. Like,
it's good to not have got to do everything.
Yeah.
I just got into the top 50 on the map.
Nice.
Lead means doing literally everything.
Yeah, you gotta lead the team and do it. Do it all. Oh, come on. Look at these nerds sticky jumping. Sticky gamers. Oh yeah, we also have paint. I guess I should have mentioned that. We have paint, so you can, you can... Oh, yeah, there we go. It's a little bugged right now. If you paint with somebody else, you use their sizes. We'll fix that. Don't worry. Yeah, it's just something with our with how we set up paint. But we'll get it properly set up to where each ghost has their own paint material that they use. And we can just call into that as opposed to using the same material and then updating the render parameters. I think if you aren't in queued rendering mode, it works. But yeah, like if you have single threaded rendering, it works because it queues everything and does it linear or single threaded, right? Oh no. Oh no, bad jumps spacing, dang it.
Like, it's feeling really good though, like,
yeah.
I don't really know Defrag very, like I've not really played much Quake games.
Yeah.
Bit. But like, I don't know, it already feels like the movement just feels really nice.
Oh, fuck.
Kind of a characteristic of Quake games. It's like as soon as you start moving, it's like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
This is what it's about.
This is a different kind of game.
Yeah, right? Oh, come on. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. No. Oh. That's too close to the edge there. Oh. There's wall skimming and everything. But I just suck, but I'll try my best. Is there somebody good in the lobby? Do you have like any of the
who's definitely Jard's in it. Jard's a Vicky free player though.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I should know. Some of these people are definitely good, right?
Oh yeah, CGaz is not gonna be networked. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, Tofu's in it. Yeah. Tofu's good. Tofu's like flying into a wall right now. Oh no, okay.
VQ3 is too hard for this nerd. Yeah.
I find VQ3 really tough.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's just like common for people coming from other source modes to find CPM a lot nicer. But
yeah. Damn.
But I love how chaotic the fucking paint is. It's like, if you think of it, it's still less stupid than like sprays.
Right?
Where like people could literally just like send anyone else any fucking image they want.
Yeah.
Like,
No
it's,
security
like,
problems with
that ever existed.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just security, but like
Just,
taste.
Yeah.
Like you'll just join any CSS server and see like, I don't know, fucking a wall full of porn.
Pretty much, right?
Which is just like, I don't want to see that.
Right.
Sprays took my virginity.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get this jump again. Let's go, let's go, let's go. No! I'll do the baby bitch strafe. There we go. Alright.
It's a hard jump.
It is so hard. Oh man, why did I reset? That was just muscle memory at that point. Okay, I'm gonna beat this map. We're gonna go raid somebody. I guess as we're approaching that, thank you all for watching. You guys are awesome. Thank you all for your awesome questions as well.
Check out 091 soon. That's going to be coming out soon.
Oh yeah, yeah. Keep your eyes peeled. No, oh, I was trying to do the shortcut. Yep.
We are very nearly out of UI hell.
Yes, that's gonna be so nice to just fix UI as opposed to implementing it from scratch.
Oh,
it's not a double. Yeah, I don't know. Should I be so like going around those sharp like right turns and stuff? Should I be like not holding W? Should I be curving?
That's what I've been doing.
yeah. You want?
Oh, okay. It's like okay. That's
what
what.
is holding
Okay.
W doing? Just W and Defrag?
It just gives you weird speed for some reason.
No, I mean I was holding W in a curve to gain more speed. So you want to gain speed and then curve. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You can turn with W though. Oh, so you let go of. Oh shit. Okay. All right. I'm learning. This is the learn section.
How the fuck do you turn with W?
You let go of the turn keys and then just kind of like curve in the air.
Wait, what?
It's like that.
Doesn't seem right.
You see how I just turned on the stream? Like I just let go of W and or D and then just was able to turn.
Oh, parkour's gone now, Nether. So in the last movement refactor, massive load of work that Rio's been doing. We abstracted out a lot of movement, so a lot of less like different game modes like on top of each other with like a bunch of conditionals like separating what movement to do when. It's separated stuff out quite a bit, which involves rewriting a decent amount of that stuff. And basically parkour's not in like a tool finished state, and like we're gonna change stuff so much from what we have. The stuff we have comes from I forget the name of the dev.
Fizzy, I think.
No. It's some other
Rob.
Game that Rob.
Rob.
Which is really cool, but it's like our stuff is going to be so different anyway that I think basically Rio was like, for now, we're not going to bother like port the totally unfinished thing. So parkour will be back, but yeah.
Yeah, it'll be back. It's post 1.0 mode. Oh, I should curve more with W. Fuck, I just like love holding both keys. Get the speed. Oh, buffer jumping too. So you don't actually have to hit jump right when you land. You can kind of buffer it like 50 milliseconds. Ah, whatever.
My brain can't handle it.
All right, I'm gonna go up
It's
the.
just like
Oh,
default to like doing it right on the frame, and then I'd like miss by one.
yeah. Party at the end zone. Got it. 35. Did that actually beat my PB? I doubt it. No, I got a 34 10 days ago. Top 100 though. Let's go. Anyway, so yeah, CGaz coming to a Momentum mod push near you
Really soon.
very soon. Pretty much
Again,
like
shout out to Painscooker for all the work because it's so well done.
ideally at the end of Sunday. If it's not in today, it's gonna be the end of tomorrow. But yeah, that's where we'll call it. Is there anyone playing Momentum? No, there's not. Fuck. Anyone streaming? I know, right? They got scared.
Good raid. Brian Ato playing Minecraft.
Oh my god. Oh, Can Even's doing Portal. Could go send him some love. Yeah, let's go raid Can Even. Let's give him some love. So thank you all so much for watching. We're gonna, as always, the raid message is please play conk smile. Any smile emoji that you want to use. Thank you all for watching. Take care. Catch you all in the next Q&A stream, but also, you know, hopefully we'll do more dev streams and stuff, web dev and whatnot. But yeah, see you all in the next one. Take care, and bye-bye.
Bye.